Can you close our door over? Thank you.
Hi. Hey.
You're live.
Hello! Welcome to our first 2K live stream of 2014. I'm Stephen Reid. Hello. You can find me online at Rockjaw. And with me today, in person, is our very own Gal Friday, Kate Distler.
Hello. Hello.
There we
I'm going to be over here in the chat.
Kate will be on the live stream later on playing Civilization, but we are here to talk about the Humble Bundle. We've been really excited and very honoured by everybody's response to the Humble Bundle. So the Humble Bundle is, in case you don't know about it, an amazing deal on some great games. If you go to humblebundle.com, right now we have a Humble Bundle running for, and I guess in honour of, Sid Meier. Sid Meier's Humble Bundle is a fantastic bundle of games, all with Sid Meier's name on top of them. And you can get yourself a fantastic deal on these games by going to humblebundle.com right now, or maybe after the live stream. Anytime between now and Tuesday morning, basically. And for a contribution which can be as low as $1, but you're not going to contribute $1 because you're a nice person, you can get yourself Civ 3, Civ 4, both complete editions, Sid Meier's Ace Patrol Pacific Skies, and of course Sid Meier's Railroads, and that's the base games. But if you contribute above the average, which currently stands at about what, $9.75-ish, something like that, less than $10.
Less than 10.
You're also going to get yourself Civ 5, Civ 5 Gods and Kings expansion pack, the Civ 5 map packs. I think that's what, Scrambled Nations and Scrambled Continents.
Yep.
And Sid Meier's Pirates, one of my personal favorites. And if you go up to $15, and remember, all of this donation can be to charity if you want it to be, you're also going to get Civ 5 Brave New World. And we're going to play a bit of Brave New World later on and show you that off. But first of all, I am going to lead off because, frankly, I'm just a bit of a fan of these earlier games. And I'm going to play a bit of Civ Railroads. That would be a different kind of a game. Sid Meier's Railroads, exclamation point. And then we're going to play a bit of Sid Meier's Pirates later on as well. We've got Kate sitting here in the chat, so if you want to talk to us, then feel free. And then there's this other person. I'm going to see if I can point. Can I point in the right direction? Am I pointing in the right direction? This is Pete Murray, who's over at Firaxis. So say hi,
guys.
Pete.
How are you doing?
Aren't you currently buried under about 6 feet of snow? Isn't that what's going on?
No. It's only 5.5 feet.
Okay.
We actually had a little bit of melting this morning.
So the top of your head like pokes out of the snowdrift?
It's all very comical. I haven't seen my children for weeks. I hope they're okay.
They may be iced up in the backyard.
They said they were going out to play. I told them good luck.
They said we maybe sometime, and then you never saw them again.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there we go. Oh, I was pointing in the right direction. Yeah, it was the classic thing of live streaming, of seeing what you did 30 seconds ago. All right, so we're going to jump right in. I'm very excited to play Sid Meier's Railroads. So, Pete, I think you're probably more of a railway man than I am. So you might want to give us the background on the series and how it came to be.
So I love Railroads. Railroads is one of my favorite Sid Meier gems to play. It's a game where the world, it's a typical open world. You're given all the tools you need to go and do things within it, and then you're going to go and connect cities, connect people, move goods and services around. You're going to build up the value of your railroad. If you're competing against opponents, eventually you'll get to the point where you'll be able to buy them out. As somebody who grew up with train lines running by his house, and still does, more or less, and a guy who rode a train to work for years, it's just, there's something very, very cool about, going those distances between the cities and back and forth. So, Stephen, I see you have pulled up the England map.
I have, yes. I thought it was appropriate for me to play Great Britain in 1829 to 1957, because that's, of course, my birthday.
1827?
I am, in fact, 100 and something years old.
You are looking nice.
185?
At your age, you don't need to know maths.
I'm looking pretty good for that. All right, yeah. So we're going to jump in and do this map. Are we ready to go, Ma? Any second now? We're going to flip over.
There you go.
All right, here we are. So now, I apologize in advance to any hardcore Railroads players in the audience, because I'm not a hardcore Railroads player. I'm a bit of a wuss, really. And I haven't played this game for a while. I've been playing it recently, but I certainly am not back at my 2006 era height. Not that I ever really was at a height. So yeah, this scenario, the Great Britain map, 1820 to 1957, it's literally at the birth of steam. So we're going to jump in and we'll see what I get. The year is 1829, so we're starting off with the Stephenson rocket. And randomly, I've been given Wrexham, which is quite handy. Wrexham is my starting city. This is pretty good because I have another game running at exactly the same spot, so I can really just get in there. So we're up here in the north sort of part of Wales. Oh no, this means I have to try and say Welsh names and do it really badly. I'm not even going to try.
Well, give it a try.
I couldn't.
The chat would like
I
you
would
to give it a
insult
try.
everyone in Wales, and I don't want to do that.
Is anyone in the chat from Wales?
If anyone in the chat is from Wales and can phonetically type out how to say Lelandin, then that would be good. But I'm not going to insult anybody by doing that. So anyway, the point of railways, as Pete said, is obviously to lay rails and build railway networks. So you start off with a randomly selected town. In this case, we're starting with Wrexham, and you can see here when you hover over them, you can see what they supply and what they demand. Just about every city, when it starts, supplies passengers, which is this little icon, and then they also supply mail. So an easy way to start off is to connect them to a nearby city. So I'm going to lay some track, and I'm going to lay that track over to Liverpool. And the nice thing about railroads is, part of the point of railroads is really, it's like a giant train set, really. You know, so you spend a lot of time just laying track and having fun with that. So we're going to lay our track down like that. It's very easy. You just drag and drop. And the landscape kind of conforms to your track as you do it, which is kind of neat. And then you need to put a station here. They're actually called depots at the beginning. So you drop a depot there. There we go. And then you sort of go on from there. Have we got any game sound here, Mara? Are we losing the game sound?
Yeah, it's low, but they'll hear it.
Okay. So now we've got a depot in Wrexham. We've got a depot in Liverpool. We've got to buy ourselves a train. So here we are at the very beginning of the age of steam. So we've got some pretty old railway options here. We've got the 220 Planet. So we'll start with Wrexham Terminal, and then we add cars to that train. This is, of course, the heart of most railway building games, is like working out your routes. So in this case, I'm going to add a couple of passengers and a mail car. You got to watch out for that max speed, because you don't want to go down to 0 or anything too slow, because then the train is inefficient. I'm going to ask it to wait until full, and then I'm going to close, and I'm going to add Liverpool as my other destination. And I'm just going to leave those 3 cars on there, and again, I'm going to ask the train to wait until full. I'm going to say close, then we're going to click OK, and off we go!
So, Stephen, have you ever used the chase camera function in
Oh,
this?
yes. I mean, that's part of the point of playing. So, yeah, you click on a train and then click on the lock camera to train button, or you can hit A. And it is a full 3D environment, so you can spin the camera around. And you see, what about, I don't know about you, Pete, but...
Not hearing any sound on the game.
I can hear it. It is low. Okay. But it's there. Yeah, slow train. We are in, what year are we in? 1829 or so? So, yeah, it's a little slow. And Birmingham wants railways. I was going to say, Pete, I don't know, were you a model train guy when you were a kid? Because I wasn't really. But I think this is how I sort of, when I first played this game, this is the way for me to compensate for not having like model railways when I was a child.
So my dad was a big model railway guy, and he and my youngest brother were big model railway collectors. And when I was not a railway guy for a long time, and then you kind of wake up one morning and you're like, a model train set is a lot of fun. That sounds like fun. That's something I want to do. Well, I'll just get a little bit of track, and then, I'll just get a little locomotive and a couple of cars and some track, and
the next thing you know, you're buying a second house to store your railway track, and it just goes from there.
There was a guy who was in my dad's train club who sold his house to a man who moved from Texas solely for the purpose of buying the train.
Wow. All right. So there we go. We got our first trains going back and forth from Wrexham to Liverpool. As you can see, as it arrives, you get nice little green icons to show that you're making some money. Now you can upgrade your stations, and you can also, of course, upgrade your trains over time. But the first thing you really want to start doing is laying a bit more track and getting out to a few more destinations. Now, one of the things you really need to learn in railroads is using double track. Now this adds and it sort of glues a track to the side of your existing track. But it means that when you have 2 tracks, it's easier for the trains to get in and out of those stations, and ensures that things are a little bit faster. So I've double tracked at Liverpool here. Go on, Pete.
And most critically, especially trains coming in and out of destinations, what you'll end up doing is you'll having a major hub like London, or I play a lot on the East Coast map, Philadelphia or New York. Having those double tracks in and out are absolutely critical, because otherwise your trains get stuck. And the train costs you money whether or not it's moving goods. And if you've got a train full of steel and it's just not making it to a city in time, you're losing that money. And that's not a situation you want to be in necessarily.
Exactly.
And low priority trains take a long time to clear those switches. So.
Yeah. So we've managed to connect Liverpool and Manchester, which is one of our scenario objectives, which is cool. It's a good start. And now let me run in a train between Manchester and Liverpool here. That looks good. We'll wait until full again. Okay. There we are. Second train up and running. Now, we've got a couple of other opponents in here, a couple of AI opponents. We've got George Hudson, Isambard, Brunel. And one of the important things you want to be doing when you're playing railroads is basically you're trying to buy out your opponents here. So you start off with, you've got a company value here, then you've got stock prices that you can buy and sell. So you can buy stock in other people's companies. So like, for example, I've got about enough money here to buy a bit of stock in George Hudson. So I'm going to buy 10% of his stock. And eventually, if you buy out all of their stock, then you can basically take over their railroad and seize all their assets, and it's great.
Oh, new locomotive.
Woo! The 222 patentee.
We have some special guests in our stream.
Oh, do we?
Yes, we have Humble Bundle in our stream, just
Hey,
hanging
Humble.
out.
Hey, Humble
Hey.
Bundle.
Hi, Humble Bundle.
Hey, you know, we should really talk about what is the current number in terms of how many Humble Bundles we've sold?
The most current number, let me pull up the counter. You guys can also see it on your screen. We are at 369,380 bundles sold. If you guys could not buy them while I'm saying it, that would be really
Everyone
helpful.
could stop buying bundles for a second so we can get the number out. But yeah, it's going up rapidly. And I mean, we're probably at what, 3.5 million or so sold now, which is really amazing. I should have mentioned right at the top,
Yeah,
Action
over
Against
3.5.
Hunger is the charity that we're supporting with the Humble Bundle. That was personally chosen by Sid himself. He was the one who wanted to go with that charity, and that's really fantastic that we can support those guys. Okay, I should have really thought through that I was going to end up with a Welsh map. Lelandindrin. Oh man, I apologise to anyone who might be Welsh. But I know that here, see, we've got the Wrexham sheep farms here with the supply. I mean, this game is really all about economics, right? So it's about setting up supply chains. So the Wrexham sheep farms here supply both sheep and nitrates. And then they can be processed here. The nitrates can be processed here into medicine. Ooh, another speed record. And then the medicine, if you hover over any of these guys, you can start to see where your stuff can be used. So if you see at the bottom of the screen there, Taunton demands medicine, Hastings demands medicine. Taunton's closer, it's like 20-something miles away. Hastings is all the way down the other end of the UK. But there are other places that, and if you see here, whoops, consumer confidence, wool prices rise. Wrexham also processes steel into weaponry. So there's all these places that you can start processing stuff. It's Birmingham over here, where if we deliver fish, we're going to process that into food. So it's really all about setting up supply chains, as I say. And if you click on one of the cities, like for example Wrexham here, in the map in the lower left here, you can see all the places that might demand or will take what that city will supply. And the other thing to note is here you can actually buy industries in cities as well. So of course that's an important part of what you want to do. Okay, so we've got our two trains running. We've got our Liverpool to Manchester run, and we've got our Wrexham to Liverpool run. So where do we want to go next? What do you think, Pete? Where do you want to expand towards?
Well, that big city that's to the south there, that looked like a good target. I would actually look at making that kind of a medium-term objective, is that end up being the central part of our hub, of our rail network.
Our network
this is the
here?
early part of the game.
Yeah.
Because you got some larger cities nearby. Big cities consume a lot of medicine, a lot of steel. They tend to be good final destinations for a lot of things. So what I might do...
Oh,
You know
a
what?
tunnel patent.
Ooh, let's talk about patents.
Let's talk about patents.
From time to time, these are ways to render railroad faster or cheaper or better, and you have an opportunity to bid on them. If you bid on them, your competitors may bid on them as well. Like
Which they
down
are
there.
doing right now.
So-
I'm like, hurry up, Pete! I need to put in my bid. I'm gonna try and
jump on it.
get this one. So this is a tunneling patent which halves the cost to build the tunnels. Isambard Brunel's got the current bid at 10,000. Every time you bid, the clock resets. But you can actually come in here and you can try and do the eBay style snipe, but unfortunately it doesn't really work because they're at 1. Whoops. So you see the clock resets each time, so that the numbers continue to go up. You can of course ignore the auction if you don't want to be bothered with it, and of course you do the classic thing of basically trying to get those costs up. So I'm going to try and push this one higher. Let's just see if I can get them to 200,000. Yep, there he goes. Well, as far as I'm concerned, he can spend that money because I don't see any big tunnels in my future right now. So.
Inevitably, the tunnel and the bridge patents end up paying for themselves fairly quickly, as long as you're not pushing them in the 200,000 range, because those digging and
you almost made me bid again there, Pete. I was like, oh, are you saying really? Should I bid again? And then it went away.
No, right. That was your call.
You know, an interesting thing I was going to point out. I'm playing this map separately on my own PC at home, and I just realized, of course, that the supply demand is randomized, right? Because in my game, there's a hospital over in Peterborough, and there isn't one in this game. So that means, interestingly, you know, your strategy has to change a little bit each time. Because I just thought, oh well, I'll be able to take the stuff here from the sheep farms and then convert them here into medicine, and then I'll take them over to Peterborough. But in actual fact, I've got to adjust my strategy because the medicine supply is somewhere else. So you
and that's
think
part of the genius that Sid has in terms of creating replayability within the game is the fact that these victory conditions change, or these economic conditions change every time you go into it. The game resets itself. It's always different when you come back. And these are the things that he automatically thinks of, and it would take me, I would never come up with that.
All right, now I've got to think about where I got to get some freight going, because freight's really where the money is. So let me think about it. Okay, so the Liverpool textile mill here will process sheep into clothing. So we probably want to run something from these two sheep farms here. Now we can do two here. Okay, now the thing is we can't start the line in any of these places because you've got to run line from an existing track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double track here at Liverpool. There we go. And then I'm going to do a single track. It's going to be a little bit of a curve. Now, what's interesting to note is, as you see here, you can see the landscape conforming, and the price will change. And what you want to be looking at, you probably can't read it on your screen, but you can see here, what I can see here is it talks about the cost of structures, the cost of fills and cuts. It also talks about the maximum speed that can be run on that track and tells you the grade. So in this case, it's a gentle uphill. Now it's becoming a moderate uphill, which of course means that you know, things will go slower. The max speed can increase though, depending on the structures you build, which is important if you're going to run a really long game. So I'm going to stop it here. It's 162,000, and then I'm also going to continue to lay additional track because I'm going to try and get both of these sheep farms, double my sheep input.
Now that's actually a really good strategy to use, because as you get along later on in the game, you'll get more and more powerful locomotives capable of carrying more and more cars. And
exactly.
you know, one locomotive or one train hauling a bunch of cars is much more efficient than in multiple trains with just a small number of cars apiece. So you're setting yourself up for success later on.
That's right, Pete Murray. I'm setting myself up for success. Okay, so we're starting off here at the Wrexham Sheep Farms. I'm going to add 4 cars there.
That's ambitious.
Wait until it'll be maybe 3, and then
2 cars.
2 cars, 2 cars. All right. I'm going to take the expert's advice here. All right, we're going to to 2. Still going to wait until full, and then we're going to go stop at the Liverpool Sheep Farms, add 2 more. Again, wait until full, and then finally we're going to end up at Liverpool itself.
Make sure you dump the cars at that point.
Exactly.
So you're not hauling empty cars back.
Yeah. So when you get there at Liverpool Depot, remember this is what the train is going to leave the station hauling. So I want to say clear, which means that they end up here. And then I can close that, and that's totally fine for them to be clear. Now, actually, if I wanted to be clever about this, Pete, I should actually now have this car. Should I have it go to the Liverpool sheep farms here, so that because at this point it's going to start here, go here, and then go all the way back to here. I could have it go to here, pick up cars, but that seems. No, I think go all the way back. Yeah. Yeah.
Fill
all
up
right.
and then come back because it's downhill at that point.
Exactly.
So you're using gravity to help you out with that. That should pay for itself pretty quickly.
All right, so there we go. We've got that one running. Now, the thing I really want to be doing here, because what I'm doing is I'm bringing a bunch of sheep here for shearing to this textile mill. So what I really want to do is buy this textile mill. But you don't get to just buy this stuff outright. This is, again, where the auction system comes in. So I want to do an industry auction, and instantly, George Hudson. Damn you, George. Immediately, he's in there to try and outbid me. So I'm going to start bidding him up, because these kind of textile mills and stuff, these really will pay for themselves over the long term. And you've got to be thinking about that. So
don't forget, this is a really good instance where selling a share or 2 of your stock would do you some good.
Good point.
I mean,
yeah.
it does put you in a bit of an exposed
I
position.
think I'm good. I think I'm going to win this. Yep. I got it.
All right, well
Nice
done.
one. Okay, it'll take a while to become profitable, but you know it's a good start. So there you go. It's going to start paying for itself. That means it's going to start generating clothing here, and then let's see who wants clothing. I'd imagine everybody wants clothing, right? Or is it just a bunch of naked people walking around in Sid Meier's railroads? Supplies passengers.
That would run counter to every experience I've ever had with the UK. Running around.
Yeah, as far as I recall, there's definitely some. I'm just looking. Ah, there we go. Textiles. Nottingham demands textiles. Not too far away. And in fact, right. You see, this is where I realised I should have paid money for that damn tunnelling patent. So here's the question, right? So we're going to start. We could have this train haul textiles all the way to Nottingham, or we could add another track to give it a clear run. What's your feeling on that one? Any preference?
Just for giggles, cost out what it would do to run through the mountain.
With a straight track from Manchester?
A straight track from
All
Manchester.
right, here we go. So Manchester, so you can see here, it will potentially run over the mountain, but as you can tell after a while it says, no, it needs to be a structure. 206,000, that's not too bad. I've got, what, 558 there, something like that? Now you can see there's a little green kind of circle around Nottingham. That just shows you the area of influence and where you need to terminate your track, basically. It doesn't have to go all the way in, so you can save a bit of money by just going to the edge. So I'm going to do that. Again, throw another depot down. Now, depots are just your starting point. What you want to do really is upgrade them. So this is in Manchester. Here's a depot, and I can upgrade it here. Go up to a station. That's going to cost me 100,000. And what that does is just speed the load and unload speed. In fact, I'm going to go all the way to a terminal because Manchester deserves it. It's a nice place. All right, now we're going to look at this train here. And we want to change its route, so we can modify the route here. So it's starting off in Liverpool Depot, and when it's hitting Liverpool Depot, it's now got textile cars. So
there aren't any yet.
Oh, no, there are. Look, 4.26. See,
oh,
that's live. So now this is the thing that it's struggling a bit. This train. So I'm wondering, can we upgrade? Have we got? No, we haven't got any other trains yet. So we have to stick with the 222.
So what I would do is actually run a new train that just handles the textiles for right now. Wait until you have a little bit more powerful locomotive, and then delete this one and the
start a new one entirely.
Textile one, yeah.
The Textile Express. That makes sense.
Yes, exactly.
Alrighty. Now
the Burberry Express.
We want to get to Birmingham, but again, I have to run track from an existing spot. Speaking of the devil, the Iron Duke. That'll do. So we don't have to delete the train, we can actually upgrade it. So if I grab this one, I can just say replace this train's engine with a different engine. You can see here it tells you what the trade-in value is, what the adjusted cost is, maximum speed, and so on. So now we just instantly upgraded that train, and now I can change its loadout here. So let's add, that's much better. Originally it was going to go about 15 miles an hour max speed, so we've added a couple of textile cars there. I'm going to close that. Now, let me think. This is where my brain starts to hurt, because I'm like, okay, I'm at Liverpool, and now I want to go all the way to Nottingham. And then we want to drop off those two textile cars there. And now, I'm running thinking here, Pete, because this confuses me. No, it's like, so it's actually delivering passengers and then picking them up.
Yes,
at this point.
Is correct. It's going to depart the station,
and then it's going to
cars attached to it.
It's going to go. I'm going to say wait until full again, and it's going to go to the next stop. So it's actually going to go back to Manchester here.
That's correct.
And I'm actually going to drop one of those cars because you can see there's not much going on at Manchester. It's not as big a city as Liverpool, so I'm going to drop one and speed things up a bit. So once you sort of get deeper into the game and you start to really worry about train performance and stuff, you can open up this train report here, and you can sort this and you can see how much each train has earned or is earning. And also here you can do things like upgrade your... So the 220 Planet is our oldest train here, so we can just click here to upgrade it. And there we go. Give it a bit of speed. Ditto with this one. And if you're into it, you can also do things like change the train's color. I think it's you can have a.
Are you into it? Do you like to customize your trains?
I'm not really into train customizing, to be honest. I don't really think about it too much, but you can.
Oh,
you know,
Stephen.
I might be strange in that regard. Let's have
dark
a nice,
green. Nice
a dark
British,
green.
Dark green.
That's kind of.
That was sharp. It's very sharp looking.
There you go. That's a bit more dark.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
Grand Sprinter Railway. Oh, there you go. The Atlantic no, Eisenbra. These are. I guess these are probably all. Are they real? No.
No, these are all made up.
Screaming Skull Express. Yeah, that sounds like my
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Okay.
All
So
right.
I can tell you right now who made that one. That's Mike Bazell, who's one of our artists.
Thank you, Mike.
Here at Firaxis. He, yeah, he's.
Oh dear.
Ooh.
No problems. That was
Suggestions.
weapon making. We're not doing any weapon factories right now. Okay, the
Yeah.
sandbox patent. 25% traction on the inclines. Yeah, I think we should try and get in on that. If for no other reason than to try and bid it up a bit.
Bid it up a little bit, but I don't think I'd go over about 110,000.
Yeah, we're not.
Because you
We only
don't
have that one incline there, really.
Right, exactly.
Let's see if we can get it up to 100. I think we can probably do that. All right. And you can look around if you need to and see what. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna win it.
Oh, you're so fast.
That was mine. Okay, fair enough. So you can look around and see who else is doing what. Like here we have, I think, who is this? This is Isambard's network. He's growing to Salisbury, Portsmouth kind of area. By the way, that's not Portsmouth, for anyone who's not in the UK. That would be the Isle of Wight. Nobody's over in Hastings. Anyone hit London yet? No, London is... Oh, no, there we go. George Hudson made his way into London. No surprises there. All right.
London is a really great spot to get to because it is a
Well, it's
consumer of all that
huge.
stuff.
Well, everything.
Munitions, medicine, food. I mean, it's just, everything's bigger in London.
Everything is bigger in London. Now here we are in our Nottingham depot. Actually, I'm just going to upgrade to a station. You see, we're kind of close to Peterborough here. We could put a station into Peterborough if we want to, and you can start siphoning out, whatever Peterborough happens to have if you decide that you want to play that way. I notice that Lincoln Hospital is demanding medicine here, so we might want to expand up that way and start a route all the way down from the sheep farms, because we haven't got anyone pulling nitrates out of the sheep farms yet. And that would need to go to Liverpool. Oh, was it Liverpool or was it? No, it was Landinrod, a place I can't pronounce. It's a terrible thing.
So could you swing up from the south? So could you like double track out of the sheep pen area?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. So we could double track on this one here and lay some track down. Got any questions in the chat, Kate? Or
Yes,
is everyone
we've
just
had a couple of
completely
questions.
bored by my commentary?
Why didn't you choose Flamingo Pink? And this was followed up with the question, but is that too modern? And I am...
The Flamingo Pink being too modern?
Oh, I just...
Probably a little bit.
I think flamingos have been around for a really long time, and I don't know that I'd consider them modern,
Maybe not.
as
no.
it were.
No.
But another question that people are asking, and I don't know how ready you are for this,
Okay, go on.
the next game.
The next game that we're going to show, are they already
Yes.
bored?
No, it has nothing to do with that. But our tight schedule, which I'm sure you appreciate as a
you see,
runner
I'm
of
just going to
trains.
lose myself in this game. I'm just going to keep going until people tell me to stop. So
Well-
I don't know where we are right now, time-wise.
It's one of those things where you could keep going forever, but if you
I
did
could.
have to switch,
If I did have to switch, the next game we're going to play is going to be Sid Meier's Pirates,
correct.
which I'm super excited to play. I've got 4 tracks in Liverpool already. I think I've double-tracked 1 too far. It was a double track too far.
They will just stack those tracks.
Well, I didn't need that one, is my point. I can actually extend this double track all the way down from Wrexham like this, and then I can lay one more track. It's a bit of a tight curve here. But
Oh,
we're
don't
gonna-
do that! Don't do that! Oh,
Why not? What? That's good. What's wrong with that?
It's because you'll be going about 5 miles an hour around that curve.
What, you want a longer curve? Is that what you're saying? Or?
No. I'm saying you don't even need to.
You want to go this
connect
way?
that.
You want to
Yeah,
go
just-
that way?
Yeah, just go back past the sheep farms.
But then we haven't. So you want to double track all the way down here?
Yes.
But then where am I going to connect? You see, here we start to get into the problems of connecting tracks. You see, because is it going to double track in there? I don't think it will it? Let's have a go.
It's an empirical question.
Is it an ecumenical matter?
It's,
Hold on.
Yeah, this is the UK.
Whoops.
We're allowed to address
Did the wrong
empirical
thing.
questions by just doing it. Figuring
Okay,
it out
let's
later.
try it. Let's try it. Here we go. We're double tracking.
There it goes.
No, you see, it's going to fail there because it's trying to connect 2 double tracks together. You see.
Try double tracking on the outside.
But I've already double tracked on the inside, Pete. Like this is all my plans have failed now. This is a disaster.
No.
This is
It's
terrible.
not a failure. All right, so
Double track the outside. All right, here we go.
double track the outside.
All
Try
right.
it. Try it.
All right. And to be fair, that does let me go through 2 sheep farms, which is a good thing.
Oh,
There we
what?
go. All the way in.
What?
All the way
Look
in.
at that.
All right.
Look at that.
New train. Start up. Where are we starting? We're starting
At the sheep farms.
starting at these sheep farms, and then we're going to go backwards, right? Okay. Right. So we'll start at this livable sheep farms. We'll add. I'm going to say 3. I'm going to go 3. 3 nitrates, I should say. I don't want to think what nitrates might be. I have a feeling we might be talking about poop.
It's
I think we're talking about poop. When we say nitrates, I think we're talking about poop. All right.
Oh,
Then
well,
close that,
you know.
and then that's going to go to
something everybody does.
the depot
That's the
here.
book, right?
It's
Oops.
nature. It's part of life.
Why is it not adding? Oh, because I haven't double tracked all the way there. Like a fool. Hold on a minute. Let's cancel that. I'm going to keep double tracking. Or actually, we've really got to. Well, what I should probably do is just delete this bit of track, right? And then try
Why
and.
don't you do that?
Because I double tracked on the wrong side, you see.
But we might need it later.
All right. We'll try and connect it. We'll see if we can do that.
Or you can join it up. I mean, you
Yeah,
can
that's what I'm going to do.
spur into
Like
it.
that.
Yeah,
there you go. There you go.
There you go. Look at that.
Okay, let's try that one more time. Do I still have that train? If I cancelled it, does it actually exist? I don't think it exists.
No, you canceled it. You basically said, never mind.
I'm backing out of my purchase. All right, let's start that again. 1, 2, 3. Wait until 4.
So I've got a tweet from Chris Solzbeck at Firaxis. He is,
Oh, hey, Chris.
He's like, "What on
Yeah,
earth are
he
you
says-
doing?"
Blast from the past. I made a lot of those early trains when I was just a little nugget. Well, he's a big old nugget now. Sol is our lead character artist for XCOM Enemy Within. He's
Very
the guy
cool.
who designed the awesome mech suits that you saw, or built them in the game itself, and the Gene Mod Soldier armor, things like that. So, thanks for watching, Souls.
Thank you. Thank you for making cool stuff
Yeah.
on XCOM.
You know, he posted something recently, some art that he did. It won an award. It's amazing.
Now I'm just thinking we've got this medicine. This is going to go all the way over here. We actually haven't even built that spur out. Oh, I just realised we could have. Oh no, we're doing this the wrong way. We're going the wrong way around. We shouldn't be converting here. We should be converting here. You see, look, Nottingham Station converts nitrates into, and then we can move it up to. Oh, I'm a fool. I am a fool, sir. Right. Scrap all of this. This is all going away. This is. See, it's all about route planning.
Okay, no, it's not the end of the world because
No,
now-
I know. I'm just going to reverse my route, you see. We're going to start here
Right.
at Wrexham.
Yes.
We'll have
yes,
3
yes,
here.
okay.
Wait until fall. Then we'll go pick up 3 more. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
And then I'm hoping... I think I might have to double track again.
You are double tracked out that way, aren't you?
I don't think I'm double tracked all the way. See, yeah, I can't add it. I'm getting all flustered now, Pete. Like, this is like, this is stressing me out.
Isn't this great? I love this game. This is just such. This is one of those.
All right,
games that you're like, I'm
let's
gonna
get some
sit
track
and I'm
down.
gonna Play this for 45 minutes.
And then
tops.
it's like,
And
yeah.
then you're like, I don't know what it was that I had to do afterwards, but it was definitely not as important as this is right
All right,
now.
we're gonna
Hopefully
merge.
nothing time sensitive.
Need their nitrates.
I said hopefully nothing time sensitive if Pete's trying to play it for just 45 minutes.
All right, now we need to extend this track at Nottingham out to Lincoln, which is where the hospital is. Oh, and we go around the corner. There we are. Right. We should build another depot here. And what I really need to do, I haven't really been keeping track of my monies. What I really need to do is get the hospital up here. If I can buy it. Yeah, there it is. There's the hospital. Let's see if we can buy that. But I can almost guarantee that I'm going to be seeing some bidding on this. It's pretty expensive, 192,000. But I better sell some stock. Oh, I haven't been paying attention. Look, George Hudson's been buying up my stock. Look, he's got 30% of my company right now.
Uh-oh.
I've only got 10% of his.
Although the cool part is that increases the value of your stock. So the
That
more
is
people
true.
buying your stock, the more valuable each piece
Better
of
it
stock
is.
becomes. Every time you sell a piece of stock, it reduces the price of it.
All right, we got the hospital. And now you see we really need to buy the chemical plant as well, because we want to own the entire chain here. So let's see if we can get this. This is only 84,000, so I'm sure we're going to see some bidding on this one. Yeah, there we go. A 50,000 increase from Mr. Hudson, who's now onto my plan. He's figured it out. Oh, look at this. Brunel jumps it up by another 50. I'll get a 200. Come on now. Oh dear. Don't want to invest in coal. 214. 224. Come on now.
You're gonna end up with this.
I think at 224 it's not too bad.
The odds are you'll make that
3,
back
2,
quickly.
1. Yes, it is mine. Right. Okay. Third time's the charm. Here we go. Buying a train. And now we can get all the way out to Lincoln. So let's start here. And 1, 2, 3. Then we'll go there. Add 3 more. Whoop. And then we're going to go. Where are we going again? Oh, we're going here. Nottingham Station. And I'm going to clear out that one. And then I'm going to wait and add. It'll take a while, but I'm going to wait and add 4 medical supplies. And then go to Lincoln. Clear those out. Now, what do they actually produce? Oh, they produce food, but they haven't got any food right now, so we'll have to figure that out later.
Yeah, you have to get fish meal or something.
And I'm going to make this a high priority train because it's got a long way to go, but it's going to make me loads of money. One thing you can do is actually you can check the price of goods at any time by clicking down here. So currently medicine and war arms, munitions or whatever are very high in terms of their per car cost. So medicine's a good one for me to be hauling. Oh, wait a minute, I just thought, I'm picking up medicine there, but where am I getting rid of it? Who demands medicine? Did I not think this through, Pete? I don't think I thought this through.
Who needed medicine?
Peterborough wants food. Who wants medicine? Let's look over here. They want food. No. Oh, wait. No, they're producing. Oh dear.
They want food.
Nobody wants medicine. Everybody's really fit and healthy and totally fine.
Hey, you know where else we could use medicine?
Where?
Sid Meier's Pirates.
The open sea.
Our pirates.
That is a segue for the ages.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right,
Welcome.
so yeah, probably a good time because as you can clearly see, I'm about to tie myself in knots on our Railroads game here. So yeah, Railroads, part of the Humble Bundle. You could be playing Railroads today for a contribution either to charity or, well, to the Humble Bundle or whoever else. Go right ahead, go to humblebundle.com, and your minimum donation is just $1 to get Railroads. But clearly, you want to be donating above the average, because if you donate above the average, then you'll get Sid Meier's Pirates, which is the next game that we're going to look at.
That's true.
And think about how much entertainment you get out of a game like Railroads or Civ 4 or Civ 3. Or Ace Patrol. I mean, there's just a tremendous amount.
I almost don't want to quit. Like, this is the thing about these games.
But you're quitting 2 pirates.
It's like I have the syringe in my arm right now. Like, I'm like, I want to continue with my railroad. All right.
I could transfer the save to your Steam.
Yeah, you might have to. Yeah.
I've certainly done that before. Actually,
all right,
this
so
is the classic problem I have at Firaxis when I sit down to take screenshots of everything.
You stop playing the game.
You get an interesting situation going, and then you're like, this is an interesting situation. You take some screenshots or some footage,
All right.
and then you're like, all right, I'm just going to play this out for a few more minutes and see how it goes.
We're going to retire, and in the great tradition of Sid Meier games, we're going to see how well we scored. Hey, not too bad.
That was pretty good.
My new career as a riverboat gambler. Not at the bottom of the pile.
Nice.
You
Not
know,
a hobo.
above snake oil peddler, which I think is definitely a good career move. All right, let's exit out of that. Mar, shall I
Great
just,
game.
jump in here?
Oh yeah, hit that. Yeah, hit that.
All right. So like we said, we're here and we're playing live to support the Humble Bundle.
I got it. Give me a second. I'll get there.
And you can go ahead and pick up the Sid Meier Humble Bundle right now, anytime between now and Tuesday. I should say, if you are, by some incredible method, watching this in the future, these games are all available on Steam. You can pick up Sid Meier's Railroads, Civ 3 Complete, Civ 4 Complete, Pirates, the whole 9 yards. They're all available on Steam, so go ahead and grab them if you're in the future. And unfortunately, you missed out on the Humble Bundle. Are we ready?
Yep.
We good to go?
All yours.
So Pirates, oh man, I played so much Pirates back in the day. 2004 was when Sid Meier's Pirates was released. This, of course, is the sort of remastered, remixed, HD version, as it were, of the original Pirates game, which came out in 1987. One of Sid's earliest games. We should have said, of course, Railroads essentially descended from Railroad Tycoon and Railroad Tycoon 2 and 3. Railroad Tycoon was originally made in 1990.
So this game actually caused me to miss my train stop once.
Nice.
I was playing on my laptop, coming from my job, and I was hauling around the Caribbean, and next time I looked up, the scenery was not what I was used to seeing out the window. And I had made my wife drive 30 miles to pick me up from the terminus of the Penn
Did you
line.
tell her you fell asleep or something? Or did you come clean and say I was playing a game?
May have cited a number of additional factors which may or may not have played into it, but let's be honest, it was pirates.
I hope your wife doesn't watch this stream, because now she's going to know the truth.
Hi, hon. Happy Valentine's Day.
Uh-huh.
All right, this is a little bit of backstory to start us off. How you end up becoming, essentially, a pirate.
And like every good pirate story, it's you're a person on the right side trying to do the right thing, and the world just won't let you. And so at some point, there's only so much a man can take, and then he finds himself in a port town looking to sign up with the Dutch.
There's money in his
French,
pockets.
Brits. Yeah, exactly.
Well, not really much money in his pockets.
No, that happens after you start, you know,
after you win.
nailing the sugar barges as they leave Campeche.
That was a very specific reference.
You know, your pirates experience, it's like everything else with these games. Kind of the story of what you did in the game becomes the story of it. So it was like, yeah, I spent a couple of years just raiding small stuff off the Spanish Main, and it, you know, and then one day this full ship of war came out.
That's right.
That was the point, and then I never looked back. And so
You don't have a pirate name, Stephen?
Well, you know, not that it springs to mind.
Just
I mean,
the
we
Dread
can,
Pirate
I would say
Stephen?
Rockjaw.
Rockjaw would at least...
Can I change it now? I don't think I can change it. I think I've missed my chance. So
Well,
I'm
we'll
gonna jump
know
in.
in our heart
Sorry,
of
I'm going to
hearts.
just go one up from Apprentice because I'm not terrible, but it has been a while. Okay, so we can choose a starting skill here. Navigation. All right. And then we have a start date as well. Let's go with the default. Okay.
That's one of my favorites.
All right, so we're going to
All
sign on.
So I would sign up with the Brits, and we'll do one of my favorite openings ever, which is where you... Oh, welcome aboard,
Mr. Stephen. Yeah, I probably should have gone with a second in there. But there you
Mr.
go.
Rockjaw.
How was I not going to sign up with the Brits? I mean, come on. Even though the Brits are kind of the bad guys in the pirate setting, aren't they? Really?
They're certainly morally grayer than a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And then you kicked in the butt one time too many.
Is this a fencing start? This has been so long since I played this. Am I about to be fencing?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No, this is just cutscene victory right here.
Oh, of course we take the ship. Of course we do.
Right. And you know, the thing is, this game starts you out with a sloop, and a sloop ends up being just a really solid pirate ship all through the game. I mean, it doesn't hold a lot, but it's a lot more effective than a lot of people give it credit for.
You know, one of the things about the game is that there's no dialogue. There's not actually any spoken dialogue. It feels to me, and sometimes it's a bit like The Sims does pirates. You know, even though they're not actually doing real Simglish, but there's kind of a feeling. You know,
Yeah, har har.
it's lots of sort of non-verbal grunting.
And that was all done by the guys here at Firaxis. We have a long tradition of doing our
Very
crowd
talented.
voices in-house, so it's a lot of fun.
So Pirates is, I mean, it's one of these classic open world games. It's one of the reasons why I love it so much. You really don't have any constrictions on what you want to do or where you want to go. You know,
Nope.
the seas are open to you. So
Exactly. Sink or swim, literally.
When
So,
I was...
one of my favorite things to do at the beginning here is to immediately set sail for Port Royal in Jamaica.
okay,
And because what that does is that puts you right in the heart of the Caribbean, and you are free at that point to go where you will.
that's a
And,
really high quality painting for the 1600s. I just want to point that out.
well, you know, people didn't appreciate craftsmanship these days the way they did back then. I mean,
Yes.
that's really, people expected that level of performance.
All right, so here we are in St. Kitts, which is the British capital. So we can go do various things here.
Tavern.
So tavern, of
Right.
course, yeah, which helps us recruit more
Brew up.
men. Whoops, what happened there?
Oh,
Did I
now
click
look
too
at-
fast? Oh, sorry. It's been a while. All right, so yeah, I can talk to the barman. I can talk to the bar lady,
Bar
Yes.
maiden.
bar maiden,
She might be a wench. Take a look at that outfit.
a saucy wench.
Mm.
I think if I
I'm
remember
not
rightly,
speaking
yeah, this
to
is
her
the crew.
character,
There we go.
just her attire.
32 men offers to do your current. Oh, fine. Yeah, let's do it. Welcome
Yeah,
aboard.
wow, that's a good call.
That was a great haul, actually.
Somebody must have just cashed out their pirate ship.
And if I remember rightly, oh yeah, this chap is. He tells you things about places you can potentially go to.
He
So
might sell
okay.
you something cool or a piece of.
All right, there we go. It tells us what's available to us in Cartagena. Good, good. What's that? Oh yes, yeah. She tells us a bit of rumors. The Roosendahl, bound for San Juan, is carrying over 1,000 in gold. That's good.
We may need to go get him. I'm just saying.
You're just saying?
He might have an accident.
Looks like he's on the way.
Yeah.
Let's try the
Thousand is
barman.
a lot of money.
The governor of Nevis's daughter is apparently a real beauty. That's good to know. All right.
Well,
So we've gathered all our rumors. Let's go back. I think that's all we need to do right now, right?
might check with the shipwright to see if he's got any upgrades for our sloop.
While you're doing that,
Sure.
you know, Marn, you can hear me too. We've had a couple of requests for Pete's mic to be turned up.
Yeah.
They want to hear Pete. They want to hear the. They want to hear the Murray.
They do.
They don't know what they're asking
That
for.
or turn
Is that any
Stephen's
louder?
mic down. We're not sure. So, Chad, if you just want to keep me updated, I will interrupt what is much more interesting conversation with your request. We will
So
get it
the
sorted out for you
shipwright
guys.
Could offer upgrade the ship with fine grade powder, but that needs 500 gold, so I can't do that. So we're gonna have to.
Okay, that's fine. We don't need the high-grade powder. Let's go ahead and sail away, and we're going to head almost due west at this point. Let's see if we can intercept that ship that's coming out. Is that him behind us
I
there?
think that's it. As it says, you.
Is he British?
Yeah, he is. No, we don't want to go after him. Where is
Uh,
that? Was it La Rochelle? I can't remember. It was the Rosendahl, wasn't it? No, it's
Yeah,
not
it was
that
the
one.
Rosenthal. You know what? Go up for the straight up by St. Kitts. There's a smuggler. If you can catch a smuggler, sometimes they have a lot more money than you might expect.
So one of the great things about the game is that it's really. I love the fact that it's so old school. Like I can basically use the number pad here.
Yeah, that's really.
Should we try the
wonderful.
smuggler? Should we try and attack this guy?
Yeah. Let's go ahead. Oh wait, 125 men.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, no, that's no. Sorry, you had something on your chin. I was just trying to tell you. You got something
Nothing.
stuck
Nothing.
right
Just
there.
ignore us. All right. What
Cool.
about this guy?
Take it easy.
He
Good
looks
luck, guys.
huge. Oh, that's it. That's the one. The
Take it.
Rosendahl.
Take him.
All right, we're gonna go for it. So this is
Attack
gonna
Cox
take
Rig
us.
with 8 guns and 50s. Oh,
This will be
Come on.
easy. He
Easy,
says,
easy
considering
peasy.
that I haven't played this game for a really long time.
okay. So you've got a sloop. You're more maneuverable than he is. I would come up behind him. So turn to your right.
Watch out!
Tack under
Oh,
his,
well
tack
tacked.
under his guns.
If I do say so myself.
All right. He's going to yaw around to his port. Fire. When you come around, fire. Go.
There we
you
go.
All right. Now come
Nice.
to the left.
Oh,
Left.
got a hit on me.
On his side,
Yeah.
and I can't.
Left the more. You're going to just board him now.
How do I
You don't
board?
wanna
I
beat
can't
him up.
remember how to board.
You
I
don't
gotta
wanna
get
beat
close
him too
enough,
much.
don't I?
There you go. Come up behind him. You got it.
Come on, it's board.
got it.
It's
You
board.
got it.
Almost there.
Don't eat that next broadside or you'll really regret it. Okay.
All right. So now this is the little fencing section. So
I would say rapier. I would say
All right.
rapier. I find an aggressive attack with a rapier is usually good enough.
oh man. Oh, it's been
Okay,
such a
hi.
long time.
High attack. 7 on the number pad. Oh
All right, here we go.
gosh.
Ah,
All right,
nice.
again, 7 again. Too slow. Okay, low.
It's been so long, Pete. There we
One
go.
again. Oh, 7.
Oh, he. So as you can see, it's sort of a kind of a rock paper scissors kind of style. You want to parry. Oh, he's too good for me.
He just taunted you.
I'm getting it again, I think. Oh, no. There we go.
There you go. There
Pushing
you go.
him up the
Just a couple more.
stairs.
Just a couple more. You're almost there.
There you go. He's
Got him.
defeated.
Good job, Steve.
Hurrah! So there's the thing I used to love about playing Pirates is that it's basically like a series of different mini games. We've got 139 space in our hold. We're just going to take everything. And
Yep.
then, do we want to keep her or sink her?
We're going to keep her. We're
Keep
going to
her.
take her right back to St. Kitts and sell her.
Man, Pete Murray, he is like a career pirate. It's pretty clear.
I like to think of myself as an aggressive negotiator of property in the Caribbean.
All right, which way is St. Kitts? I've lost my way already.
Yeah,
There's St.
southwest. You're
Martin.
going in the right
There we go.
direction. I would tack a little bit. Okay, see if you can skirt around.
He's even using the right words. Tack. He's saying tack, not
Oh, I
turn.
know. He was doing that yesterday while I was playing. And I was just like, what? I thought he wanted me to put something up on the wall, and I was terribly confused.
Yeah, by tack we mean turn.
Well,
Yeah.
we can say
If you're
turn.
confused by the nautical terminology, everybody, don't worry. It says turn left on the interface rather than tack left.
Hard to port.
Arr!
Arr.
Here we are.
Maybe gravely disappointed.
All right,
Let's
let's.
look at the ship, right?
Yeah, let's talk the shipwright first of all.
Okay. First thing you want to do is repair your own ship.
That's correct. There we go.
And upgrade to fine powder. There you go.
Nice.
All right, now we're
Let's
going
look
to
at ship number 2 here.
I wouldn't even repair the ship. I would
You wanna
see
sell
the
it?
seller without losing the cargo.
66 gold. Hmm.
It's 66 gold you didn't have coming in.
I need to dispose of 57 tons of cargo if I sell this ship. So let's
Okay,
just
so
go
let's
back
go
to the merchant. here.
merchant.
Yeah.
I would sell
Hmm.
anything that isn't food or enough guns for your sloop.
All right, let's sell all of the goods. I got a lot of goods here.
Yeah, the goods tend to be worth more farther inland or farther to the west because here on the eastern Caribbean, presumably it's easier for them to trade in and out of England. But
Looks like I've got gold. Of course, you want to keep gold. As you see here, it says 5 months. That's how long we can stay at sea. We've obviously got 15 guns, which is good right now. So I think we're good, actually. We just got the goods. Let's go back to the shipwright. Sell that. Wow, 120-ton ship is only 66 gold. Mm. All right, we're done. Sold.
all right. So now we're gonna go back to the tavern. Let's see if anybody else came in while we were out.
Let's see.
Oh, just 9 guys. So
Nah.
those crews replenish slowly over time. So if you leave a port for 6 months or a year, when you come back, there'll be a big batch of people in there. Welcome aboard. Always need help.
More mates. Arr.
Yar.
All
Oh,
right.
France is at war with Holland, which means every time we take out a Dutch ship, our stock will go up with the French. So we could go into a French port like Aloythra. No, Aloythra's Dutch. Wow. I think.
I'm amazed you can memorize this stuff, Pete.
Well, I mean, I would steer clear of that ship.
Yes.
That is a full Dutch warship, it looks like. Although, if you could take that,
Don't push me now.
Oh boy. See, he's
I'm
got
just
to
saying,
memorize this
just
stuff
might
though.
We'll just have a
come
little
up,
a look-see.
have a look.
6 guns, 33 men. We can take them. Is that the right one?
What did
Is
it
there
say
another
it is?
one? It's a
Dutch
West Indian man.
Oh,
6
no,
guns
no,
and
no.
33 men. We don't want that.
Oh, well,
Do we?
a West Indiaman might have a lot of good stuff in it. I would, yeah, he might have
Let's
an
give it a
accent.
go. Let's
yeah,
give it a go.
yeah. All right,
here we
so
go.
you're behind him. You have the weather gauge. This is good. So what you're going to do is not sail into that shot.
I missed it. I'm
There you
good.
go. Good job. Good job.
All right. Whoop, whoop. All right, here we
All
go.
right, turn left. Give him a broadside. Turn right. Sail right into him.
Now, you see, if we don't take out enough of the crew, it makes it harder to board. Am I right? Oh, no, in this case, Captain didn't even want to fight. There we go.
He's like, no,
He surrendered.
look at that.
Take it all.
Take it all.
And we'll...
Take it to Port Royal.
Now, where's Port Royal again?
Okay, so bring up the map of the Caribbean.
How do I bring up the map again? I've completely forgotten. Oh, there it is, number 3.
I was going to say. It's the button
Okay,
that says map.
so we are here. Port
So
Royal
go
is
to
where?
the west.
More?
You use your arrow keys to pan around. South a little bit.
Ah, there it is.
There it is.
All right. So we got to basically go due west from where we are.
So
right
you
now.
can just basically follow that chain of islands as you're going around.
Yep.
You're at a good, actually, you're in a really good tack right now. I wouldn't go too close to the islands.
There he goes saying tack again. So yeah, there's actually wind that's going to influence the speed of your ships. You can see there on the bottom left, we've got 9 knots blowing. There's San Juan.
Yeah, don't sail across the reefs. That's always a bad idea.
I learned that yesterday.
Yeah,
It's a
that
good
will
thing
that
to
will
know.
run your boat aground, I guess.
What is he?
Spanish trade
It's a
galleon.
ship.
Trade galleon, leave it be. Don't attack it. See, the thing is, we're going west, and the trade galleons sail pretty badly on the direction that we're sailing, and so it will be lagging behind constantly. They do sail north to south pretty well, so that's why you'll tend to see them going up and down the Caribbean. And later on,
These are top tips, everybody. I want to point out top tips from Mr. Pete Murray.
These are fantastic.
Later on, you're going to want to pick up a Spanish war galleon, especially if you're going in and out of Port Royal a lot, because that is almost the perfect ship for cruising up and down. It's got a great mix of guns and cargo space and speed when sailing abeam the wind. That's more nautical nonsense for you.
Oh, we've still got a way to go here. Okay, all right.
Yeah, we're gonna come around the point. You know, sometimes there's a named pirate that hangs around here.
Oh yeah, yeah. These guys, sort of like the top dogs that you can take out and gain fame.
Yeah, the famous named pirates, and if you take them out, your fame will increase. They always are well stocked with riches, treasure. Oh, take him, take him, take him, take him.
All right, okay. Insisting.
All right.
Give me a sec. Give me a sec.
We're at a bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, the wind's. He's a bit of a small target. Come on now. Oh yes. Oh, almost.
Good. He's going to come along. Okay, bear off a little bit. So put some distance between you.
Yeah.
And then turn hard. Give him another broadside. Give it. There you go.
Oh, he surrendered.
He surrendered. That's great.
Welcome aboard, lads.
What was he?
Oh,
pirate.
They were just volunteering to join us.
Oh, okay.
I like how no one has called me on my super obvious answers. Every time Pete has said, what is that? I've answered a boat, a pirate, water. No one's calling me on this.
What are they? It is a pirate. Yes, indeed. I mean, again, as I said at the beginning, this is an open world game. This is really one of my favorite genres, period. I mean, I've said this a few times on the record. My favorite all-time game is Elite, which is a space game which is actually being remade right now, or I guess a new version of Elite is being made. And Pirates really reminds me of that because it doesn't force you into any particular role. You can do whatever you want. Like if you want to trade, you can trade. If you want to act as essentially kind of like a mercenary, you can do that. It's really up to you, which is pretty awesome. I can see Port Royal in the distance. Land ho, as they say.
Yep.
How are we doing on time?
How are we doing on time? Well, it is currently 11:57 a.m. where we are here in
Oh,
California.
we're almost exactly at our halfway point. So this might be where we leave things off, I would say.
Well, you're going to be able to play Pirates a little bit more because our Ace Patrol time...
Did I ever run on my railroads?
Mm-hmm.
It was totally worth it.
Divide the Plunder is basically the stop the game, right? Isn't that the...
No, it's kind of a cash-in point.
Yes,
so
that's right.
What you can do is your crew's happiness degrades over time, and it goes down faster if you have less food. It goes down slower if you have musical instruments for them to play. But at some point, they're just going to be sick of you, and at that point, you divide the plunder. You take the entire sum of the treasure that you have, you divide it up among everyone, and you get a cut of it. This is a cash-out point in the game. You can kind of decide, okay, I'm done. This is where I'm going to end my career, or you can pick it up and you can go back out to sea. So I would say
I think we can divide
not
later.
Yet.
We're not
we
quite
can divide
there.
later. Yeah. So.
All right, let's go talk to the merchant. He hasn't got much gold, but I'm gonna drop some spice. That's worth a bunch.
Those goods. Yep, get rid of those.
As many as we can sell. He's out of money. But that's okay. We've got everything. Let's buy a bit more food, I think. Get us back up to like 5 months. There we go. All right. There we are. Go back to the shipwright. Let's repair ourselves.
Oh, triple hammocks.
Triple hammocks. More people. Carry more crew. Yes, let's do that. 450 gold. That's quite a good deal.
Yeah, liquidate it.
600 gold. Wow, is that better than our current sloop?
Well, is it a sloop of war?
It has the copper plating and chain shot and grape shot, but it doesn't have the triple hammocks. But we could upgrade it to triple hammocks. Maybe we should switch.
What do you guys think we should do? We haven't asked the chat what they think.
Tell us what we should do.
Let's see what the chat says. What's the chat think we should do?
I'm selling this West Indian then.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just gonna, file the serial numbers off it and put it on the market. That's fine.
Any thoughts in the chat?
Looks like we're switching.
Switching?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So I need to upgrade the triple hammocks.
Yep. Sell the other one.
Sell the Revenge. You will need to dispose of 5 tons of cargo if you sell this ship.
Isn't the Revenge the name of the Dread Pirate Roberts
yeah,
ship?
let's just do it. I think Revenge is the name of the Dread Pirate Roberts.
I think it is too.
I should have been Roberts. That should have been
You
my
should
name.
have been.
Well, you know what? They're
okay.
both sloops. They're going to sail fast together. Maybe just keep both.
30 men?
Yep. Take them with you. That way, if something horrible happens, you have a reserve ship.
Let's see if this chap has got anything to tell me. Ooh! Secret map showing the location of Pirate Morgan's buried treasure. I'll take that.
That guy looks trustworthy.
These
I
are little
vote.
puzzles that come together. Are these randomly generated? I can't remember if I think they are, right? The locations of these treasures are
not
random.
randomly generated, but there's a set number of places it can be in the world, and there's a lot of those potential places, but
Right.
it doesn't generate the treasure until you have the complete map.
So we got an Inca temple here. Inca temple. Okay. All right. We've got to keep looking. Let's get our first piece of a map. Let's see what she has to say. The Antonio is carrying over 1,000 in gold. All right.
A Royal Galleon.
It's going south.
Oh, see, and it's going to come right past us. This is why I love going to Port Royal. It's like the whole Spanish Caribbean, just outside.
This is interesting. It says the soundly some fresh blood and some European immigrants have arrived at the nearest Jesuit mission. If I remember rightly, we can do kind of a we can ferry people, can't we?
Right. You go to a mission, and there's a special mission that's generated at the Jesuit missions where you get to escort settlers to a nearby city. And if they arrive at the nearby city,
That's right.
then that city gets a population boost. I would head south.
All
I
right.
would head south. We're going to go down, and we are going to feast on the fat of the Spanish galleons as they trade in and out of the southern Caribbean.
And remind me,
this-
which is the Spanish flag? Is it yellow? I think
It is yellow. Yeah,
Alright.
this is my absolute favorite part of the game. When you are leaving leaving Port Royal to go south.
Oh, look at that speed.
I
A
know.
good wind behind us.
Yes, and this is really what the sloop
Oh,
does
hello.
best. Oh, who's he?
A new friend.
An invasion force.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, wait, is it a flagship?
It's
a frigate.
frigate.
it's a frigate,
Oh, frigate
That's
is
gonna
another
be-
really good
but it's,
ship.
that's going to be tough, isn't it?
Shall
I give it a
You
go?
can hack it.
Shall I give it a go?
Yeah.
Let's
Here
get
we
a
go.
battle
All right,
on.
Here we go.
Frigates are fantastic.
Yay,
So
yay, yay.
stay clear of the broadside. Fall off the broadside. There you go. There you go. All right, give him one of yours. Fire.
Wait. Oh, I missed.
Ooh.
Oh, got a little bit of damage there. Oh, I really am rusty on my ship skills.
All right, just board him. Just come over and board him.
Just bored.
200 crew? Oh, man.
Yeah, well, we don't have time to mess around with this.
Let's get in there.
Let's get in there.
Come on.
You can do this.
see,
Too.
this
There
is-
we go.
there you go.
This is going to be a fight. Yeah, here we are. All right.
Nice.
Wishes me luck.
All right, go for it.
Oh! Ah! There we go, better. I'm getting there.
There you go. You got him.
It's been a while, like I
Don't
said.
slip.
Ooh! Oh, do it. I'm failing you here, Pete.
Can I
I'm
make
really
a
failing.
suggestion? Get hit less.
Not suck?
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Oh, terrible.
Oh, no. We've gambled and lost.
So this is what happens when you lose, guys. You see? This is what happens when you follow Pete Murray's advice. You end up in jail.
Ah! It was solid advice.
Rotting in prison.
Yeah.
But don't worry, the game isn't over. So how much is he asking for? Because your face is obscuring it. What does that say? 500 gold pieces?
500.
Oh, fine, I'll pay.
Usually what people say about my face is it obscures things.
Oh.
Well, I think that's a pretty appropriate time to maybe switch over. So there you go, Sid Meier's Pirates. And we've really only scratched the surface. There's so much more. There's so many mini games and fun little activities to do. You can end up taking your, you can search for buried treasure, as we saw. You can take your pirates and you can actually invade cities. You can like sack cities and stuff. There's a great little mini game where you get to romance the governor's daughter with special dances and things. There's just so much to do in this game. I mean,
Save members of your family.
yeah,
you
there's a whole
get
storyline.
married.
Yeah. And
After
it's-
romancing the daughter too.
That's
That's
right.
going to be a nice conversation with the family.
Yeah,
It's like, how did you save
treasure
us,
ship.
sweetheart?
I'm not gonna
Oh.
be able to take him. Oh look, there's Henry
Oh, it's
Morgan.
Henry Morgan.
We should at least try.
I got 247 men on that large frigate.
And on that note, let's play some Ace Patrol.
You're not gonna see me attempt to. I'm not gonna fail once more. All right, we're gonna quit out of this one. Marshall, I'll hand over control
We're going to put
to
a
you
nice
for a
screen up.
second.
You know what we're going to show them? We're giving away a really cool prize
A
after
cool
the stream.
prize.
An excellent prize. It's a Sid Meier prize pack, and Mara's going to show a picture of it while we swap around.
There you go.
Over
That's it.
my right shoulder here.
Am I eligible for the Sid Meier prize pack?
You are not eligible to win.
You're part of it.
Oh, wait, I am?
Would you be willing
We're giving
to?
away a Pete Murray. We switching?
The skies over Europe are a dangerous place, where
Here. You come this way.
Right. Woo!
So are you guys there? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
This has been good. All right, we can figure this out. Hang on a second, guys.
Okay. Oh, you're back. Good.
Yeah, I'm back. We had some confusion as to what we could hear, what we couldn't hear,
Okay, good.
and we have solved it now, theoretically.
I believe the sound effects on, the music off.
We could leave this out.
We
Well, they're
tried.
both at the same volume,
Yeah, there's no
which would
adjusting.
mean as soon as I am totally destroying planes, which is what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so, hello everyone. I guess that was strange because we just swapped over.
Well, I could adjust this maybe.
Mara's going to adjust some things. In the meantime, Stephen is now in the chat,
I am now in the chat.
answering your questions,
Alright, try that.
saying things. And we are playing Ace Patrol. Now, this is the original Ace Patrol. Of course, Ace Patrol Pacific Skies is also part of that base. And I am going to begin playing as the British. Now, Pete, what can you tell me about the artwork here? Because some of these people look familiar.
Yeah, they should. So this was the fun part of making this game, is that the pilots, we used pictures of our people at Firaxis and friends of ours from around the area, and everybody got their picture taken, and then Andy, our artist, painted over everybody to make them a pilot in the game. So I had such a fun time doing it. I actually am a French and an American pilot, and I used that for all sorts of things. I would have used it for my French pilot portrait as my Christmas card if I had been able to get away with that. It's just really, really fun. So it's fun to see everybody from Firaxis in the game. So if you guys are wondering who those people are, they are, in fact, the people who made the game or friends of ours here at work. So this is one of the first missions you play. This is the tutorial. This is basically to teach you about how to play the game itself. Easy enough getting started. Just shoot down some hapless balloons. In your
Rigid
DH2.
airships.
They're easy. And now you're going to shoot down a hapless observation aircraft who should know better. All right, so we get to pick sets of skills when we're done. Looks like you've got loop. Oh, you picked the power maneuvers?
I picked the power maneuvers.
Okay, why
I
did you
will
pick
pick.
those?
I'm attracted to power.
Are you really going to quiz us on Ace Patrol tactics now, Pete? Is that what's going to happen?
My tactics is stay airborne. I chose power because I really like diving and also reaching high altitudes quickly.
All right, that's good. I usually pick the maneuverability ones first, so slip, skid, or roll maneuvers first. That's not so much of an issue with British pilots because it turns out that these. So you're going to go ahead and want to click and drag over to the left there.
Ah, there we go.
There you go.
Look at that. My
That's-
window's a little askew.
That's okay. So the British aircraft, there's some really maneuverable ones in this. So having a suite of maneuverability is not necessarily the most important thing, at least to start. Later on, though, and some of the other aircraft, for example, I'm thinking right offhand, some of the French aircraft are appallingly unaerodynamic and take a lot of power to get to turn around. So you need to be careful with that. The other cool thing about the DH-2 that is unique to it is that the machine gun was actually on a flexible mount on the front of the aircraft. And so in this game, Sid has it modeled that it actually will shoot off the front 3 hexes without any penalty. So in Ace Patrol, positioning is everything, making sure the enemy is to your front, making sure you're coming in on his tail. The DH-2 actually gives you a lot more firepower in the sense that you have a lot more available to you. So, you've got roll maneuvers?
We've now established that you know about trains, you know about pirates, and apparently you know about like World War I planes. Is there any historical? Can I quiz you on like ancient Babylonian mating rituals or something? Like,
I'm actually less versed in some of the
Babylonians,
the later Roman emperors than I, and I'm appallingly bad at Byzantines. But other than that,
we all
have our weaknesses.
We'll excuse you for once.
Slipskid is good. Pick Slipskid.
That's what I was picking, but last time I picked it and then it was the wrong thing.
No. There's no wrong maneuver.
So I didn't choose loops. Normally I choose loops because I'm a sucker for them.
Right.
This person looks familiar.
So
I think I'm going to go with him because I have power maneuvers.
Okay. Well, loops and rolls, if you're going to open, that's always a good opening to go with because loop and roll maneuvers combine very nicely. And once you start that loop, it's very hard for anybody to figure out where you're going.
A few people asking in the chat about this. Obviously, this is the World War I era Ace Patrol.
Yes.
But the Ace Patrol Pacific Skies, which is also included in the bundle,
in that
is
base
World War
part
II,
of the bundle, yeah.
Is in the World War II era. So you can choose your favorite plane era to play in.
It's Pacific Skies is the U.S. and the Japanese, U.S. Army, Air Force, and Imperial Japanese Army, and IJN, the Imperial Japanese Navy, and the U.S. Navy. So again, 4 factions, 2 Japanese, 2 Americans, 2 very different styles of aircraft. American planes tend to be very fast and tough. Japanese planes tend to be very maneuverable, very punchy in the sense that they have pretty powerful guns. So very nice rock, scissors, paper relationship between the aircraft in this game. And you were able to, Sid was able to get a lot of kind of the essential differences of the aircraft modeled within this this turn-based dogfighting game, and you find yourself talking with your hands a lot when you're describing how you played the game. So this guy came this way, and I sort of slipped out around the side, and then I implemented around him, and
that's pretty much what just happened. I was kind of like this, and I was kind of like this, and he was just in the middle and done.
Yeah, but I think the big lesson of this particular mission that you just went on is that 2 aircraft are always going to beat 1, and the takeaway from that is never let your aircraft get separated. Try to keep them together. Don't try to split them and send them after separate targets. Take down 1 target at a time.
So use the buddy system.
Use the buddy system. So now we've got a choice of 3 different missions we can go on. Looks like we've got
Clear Skies, Flying Circus, or Payback. I'm going to go with Flying Circus just because of the name.
So Flying Circus is great because there's an enemy squadron that you're up against throughout the war. Flying Circus will help you put a dent in some of their ability to fight back later on. It's a mission that turns out to have a lot of benefits later on in the game.
So Pete, Empty Noise wants to know, do you have a history degree or did you do some study just before the stream started?
No, I'm a history nerd. It's unfortunate. I have a medication for it that I'm taking. It's a manageable condition.
Well, I think it's helpful. I mean, now, when it says Flying Circus, I'm guessing that's an allusion to the Sopwith planes that I can get eventually?
Well, the idea of a flying circus was that these guys, they lived in tents, and they moved up and down the line as they were needed. And so they were never in one place for very long, and so they called themselves the Flying Circus because they moved a lot and they lived in tents, and it was kind of a bleak existence.
Well, nothing says bleak like circus.
Well,
So that makes sense.
Nothing says
There's a
bleak
lot-
like
there's a
clowns,
lot-
but
yeah,
you know.
exactly. Well, nothing's bleaker than clowns. Let's be honest here. There's a lot more sardonic humor in World War I than people tend to give it credit for. We tend to think of it as a fairly kind of austere, faintly old-fashioned time period, but most of that had gotten burned out of everybody by about the end of 1915. And when you read the memoirs of people who fought in the First World War, whether they were pilots or whether they were ground infantrymen, I mean, it is there's a lot of surprisingly modern sentiment to it. So there's some great stuff out there, especially now that we're coming up on the centenary of the war itself. You're seeing a lot more stuff come out about that in the press. I would definitely, if you are a fan of history, check that out.
I'm a
Kate.
fan of history
I'm
because
gonna
I'm in
attack.
fact part of history, Pete, if you weren't aware.
Hundreds of years
since you're
old, right?
185 years old, I would expect you to have lived through a fair amount of it. You
That's
may,
right.
in
Get to
fact,
the clouds.
yeah, get into the clouds.
I'm working on it.
So this is the thing. Yeah, good.
We
All right.
should mention that
Bought
as,
yourself some time.
as well as being part of the Humble Bundle, Ace Patrol obviously is also available on Steam and is also available on iOS. So if you actually want to try Ace Patrol on iOS, it's actually free. You can download Ace Patrol for free. Ace Patrol Pacific Skies is a premium app, so if you like what you played in Ace Patrol, and you want to play in World War II, then you can go ahead and pick that up on iOS as well. But they're very cheap on Steam too if you decide that you for some crazy reason you don't want to pick them up in the Humble Bundle. But I'm sure you want to pick them up in the Humble Bundle because this is
Oh shoot!
a great. You didn't just crash, did you?
I didn't crash.
You went very close to the ground.
No, I clicked on the wrong hex and I returned to base. But now it's a fair fight. I actually chose to do that so that it would be a fair fight.
One more challenge.
Yes. Now it's 1 against 1, which is right where I wanted him.
That actually was a good decision.
He
you
was
really
kind of
do-
damaged.
Yeah, and the Eindecker is faster than your DH2, and so running away from him is a maneuver that's not going to do a lot of good later on. So,
Run away!
yeah.
So, all right, so that went okay. That went okay. It was a flying circus, and I did get to say "run away" in a Monty Python voice, which I think is win column.
That's a cultural victory right there.
Yes.
Hey, Mar, if you
Molly.
could turn the monitor back on for me, please, I would appreciate that.
I will bring it back. Sorry.
He's working on it.
He's
That's
thinking
okay.
about it.
That's okay.
My computer decided to update Windows.
That's his
I have 2 ace maneuver options.
All right, what are your ace
Oh, come on.
maneuver
No,
options?
no, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. So our options here, the Immelman,
Yeah.
the loop maneuvers, or the crack shot. We will pick the Immelman if you can tell us what the Immelman refers to.
Okay, the Immelman turn.
I knew he could.
Invented by, or well, not invented by, but described by Max Immelman as a way to change the direction of an aircraft very quickly. It was something the German pilots practiced and were very good at, and was kind of adopted by that. The Germans were the first one to sort of codify air combat. One of their pilots, Boltke, wrote them down in essentially a series of notes, and then everybody who joined his squadron, he basically stuck the notes at him and said, "Read this, or you'll die faster than you would normally." And one of his most famous students was Manfred von Richthofen, or the Red Baron.
Of
and
course. We knew that.
so the Dicta Boltke, if you're interested in looking them up, they are the very first Top Gun manual.
Also related to the Red Baron, Snoopy was that sometimes.
An
Little known
interesting,
fact.
interesting segue,
Little-
but okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Ace versus Ace, A View to the West, and Preemptive Strike.
So Ace versus Ace is a great mission that is incredibly hard. If you'll have the opportunity
That's
to
coming, Pete.
preview.
Your feet is coming.
Mar, everything okay?
Pete still doesn't have feet. It's coming.
It's okay.
We're just telling Pete that
That's fine.
his monitor's getting closed. turned
Okay,
back on.
so Ace versus Ace is difficult. Should we instead go with A View to the West or Preemptive Strike?
I would try Preemptive Strike. That might be a good one to do.
Deadly poison gas is stockpiled at the enemy's forward depot. Well, let's not let that happen.
Nope. So you're going to escort a bomber on this one?
Come on, ladies. Ooh, new planes. See, this is what I thought the Flying Circus was about, because I know the Sopwiths also kind of got this reputation because they had the pup and the camel and dolphin.
As I recall, the dolphin was a little bit later.
But it happened.
I believe there is a stop with dolphin. Yes.
All right. All right, so I'm going to go with flamingo pink since that was
the
popular before.
The color of choice.
Yes. Stop with.
Thanks, Mar.
They're all going to be stop with, and they're all going to be pink.
Thank you, Mar. That's good. We got it.
We got it.
Pink is all good.
Yeah.
We're going to fly to the next mission.
Okay, that's my phone now.
Mm-hmm.
Because Windows is taking forever to...
All right, so here's the German depot. That's not me. Where do I live? Oh, here I am. Oh, right.
Look for the hot pink planes.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, something to keep in mind when you're on a bomber escort mission is that the bomber is going to do its own thing. You will lose the mission if the bomber dies. So you need to stay close to it. You need to protect it. So don't fly too fast.
Escort that bomber.
I'm just going to hang
Escort
out.
that bomber. Yep.
I'm kind of going to bank left so I can get closer to him.
I would actually stay 2 or 3 tiles behind him is almost ideal. He'll take some shots from the Germans as they fly past him, but then you'll be in a position to jump in on them as they try to jump the bomber. So yeah, keep looping around it.
Looping
There you go.
around. All right, now he's in front. This is much better.
Yeah.
All right, I want to come this way and loop around. You're also going to loop around. He's flying near clouds, which I appreciate, because I think it makes my job a little bit easier if he's cognizant of not wanting to get caught.
Yeah.
Pete, have you ever played a game called Wings of War, as in a board game?
You know, it's funny you should mention that, as I have it over on a shelf just off camera. I've got the game and 4 of the planes and 4 more of them at home. I love it. It's a fantastic little game.
Very similar to Ace Patrol, I guess, in style, right? I think Wings of War uses a card system.
Wings of War uses a card system and a slightly different pre-plotted move setup. It's a different sort of game, but it takes on some of the same ideas. I actually, in talking to Sid through the development of this, I get the impression a lot of the ideas that he developed, he'd kind of been percolating on over the years. And this is the cool part about working with him, is that he will make a prototype and then shelve it for a while if he doesn't quite know where it's gone or isn't quite certain about it, and then pull it out later on when he feels like it's ready to go. And I think this game, Ace Patrol, is kind of built off some of the ideas that he was playing with over a longer period of time.
So I've got Abigail over here, and I'm trying to get her to turn around. And I am banking like it's my job. Banking and slipping.
Okay, don't slip. Don't slip.
Okay.
Slip is keep your facing but move the plane. So your plane kind of goes like I'm like that or like that. And you actually need to turn. You actually need to change the momentum or change the yeah.
I can't agree more that I need to turn. Hey, get back by your plane, pup.
Is there any way to get your pilots to loop around? This is sometimes where a loop maneuver is really helpful. No.
No, not at the moment.
Okay.
Which, doesn't mean that
well, it looks like you're going to be able to
yet.
get the bombing run in, but I'm not sure that bomber's going to survive the trip back.
Well, if he tries hard. We can't
He
all
has
be
to really
dependent.
want it. He has to really want... There you go.
He wants it.
Okay.
No, it's Abigail I was having problems with. My other friend over here, she's been very agreeable.
We're playing, I'm sure, Pete, you could tell us this. We're playing a bit fast and loose with history here. I don't believe... Were there any female pilots in World War One?
Actually, there were.
Oh, there were? Okay.
Yeah, there were a couple. There was a French woman who flew. There was a Russian female pilot. And as I recall, there is somewhat unclear evidence as to whether or not the Turks had a pilot who was a woman as well, too.
Pete,
so,
I've decided you're my phone a friend when I obviously go on to, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and get asked history questions.
I would
clearly the guy I'm going to call.
There we go.
I would cover you.
Well
I would be there for you no matter what.
Of course, you'd get the question about the Byzantine era, and then we would just be
and then we'd really have
out
problems.
of luck. How are we
He
doing
was
on
Bacillus
time?
during be like, oh god.
Sorry. I'd say it would be about time, potentially, to switch out and do some
Let's
Civ.
let's show the last mission just because it's cool to go into. The last
We will
mission
do it.
in the first campaign of the Brits is an attack on a Zeppelin. This is one of the coolest, kind of a cool highlight of this game. Not only are you up against this big giant Zeppelin that's hanging out over the snowy front, but you're going to bring everybody in your squadron. And if anybody's wounded, you're going to be definitely down for this one because there's a bigger enemy squadron this time too. So tough fight. Yeah, it's a tough fight. The Zeppelin's cranked up in a corner, protected by anti-aircraft guns. Your angles of approach are usually restricted as well too, and you have to be careful. So
All right.
I'm sad that we didn't get the Pete Murray pilot.
it's okay. You would have had to choose the French or the Americans.
Ah, right. Okay. So are you saying you're playing a Frenchman in this game? Is that why you have an outrageous moustache on your Twitter avatar?
I specifically asked for the outrageous mustache. I said to Andy, who's the artist, I said I want a big mustache that curls up at the ends, and he's like, okay, I can do that, and I got an outrageous French mustache. It was wonderful.
Oh, I have so many adversaries.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Well, I just wanted people to be able to see the mission. It's definitely a fun one. It's definitely your best tactic here is to go after the
bad guys.
Go after the fighters first. The Zeppelin isn't going to move. It'll wait until you're done. And then what you do is make sure you have a nice angle going into it and a nice way to get out as well, too.
So, Pete, FF5 Conan says, do you know Amelia Earhart? I don't know if he means that personally or if you know about her history.
No, she graduated before I did.
You might know her, Stephen. You're much older.
Yeah, we didn't hang out much, but clearly a man of my advanced years is well aware of her.
All right, so I'm doing something right because I've got the green arrows, Pete.
Okay.
Which is excellent. It looks cold here. I'm imagining that this is what it looks like where you are right now.
We have more Zeppelins, but the ground is a lot like that, yeah.
You need to mute your other Skype, Pete.
Pete, there's an incoming transmission from Mar that says you need to mute your other Skype.
Okay, thanks, Mar. It's done.
Banking right, diving left.
Now, are the German pilots here? I mean, some of them are based on real historical pilots, so I assume their portraits have been done from reference, or are some of them actually Firaxis
No, those
employees?
are actual Firaxis people too. So, for example, that is on the right there. That German pilot was Todd Bergantz, who's one of the artists working on the game, and I believe that's Ned Way, who's one of the engineers who worked on XCOM, and an old Microprose hand too. So. And Lena Brank, who is one of the producers on Civ, she's from Germany. She was one of the German pilots as well too. So, yep. We also have Rex, who's a writer for Civilization. He's one of the German pilots. He gets a monocle at some point, which is
nice.
really funny. If you know Rex, he's the kind of guy who would wear a monocle and get away with it.
Pete, Giver of Will in the chat room says, a nice 4X 3D type space game using this type of movement and a hex map would be cool. So you could pass that along to Sid, maybe?
I will do that. I will do that. I mean, it's amazing how well this works for a fighter game. I mean, if you said to anybody, it's a hex-based, turn-based, dogfighting game set in World War I, you'd be like, and I too had a lunch composed entirely of pills. But it ends up being one of these games that I sit on my couch and play this constantly. You know, when there's something on TV and you're like, oh, well, I'm not that engaged. I'll just pull out Ace Patrol and be highly engaged by this. So it's just a great game, and it gets really challenging at some of the upper skill levels. If you want to know, level 4, which is the next to top difficulty, is even odds. So that's where you don't get any breaks and the AI doesn't get any bonuses, and we kind of take the brakes off the AI at that point, and it will chew you up. That is really tough. And we were doing some playthroughs on the 2K forum with some fans of the game, and these guys were playing on level 5, and you know, perfect campaigns, nobody got wounded, you know, everybody's shooting down other planes. So there's definitely plenty of room to skill up in that game. It's a fantastic one.
So that Zeppelin is done. I'm just getting the little stragglers now, right?
Yes.
Oh, right.
So I noticed there's a lot of black smoke trailing off people, so
Maybe.
clearly some engines are...
That
Might have
could
taken
be
a few
anything.
hits.
I think it belongs mostly to them, though.
Okay, yeah. Don't worry, it's not my black smoke.
Mostly. That's not my fault.
Yeah.
He's running away. He should stop.
What's amazing is when you make a mistake, trying to go back through and reconstruct the chain of events that caused you to end up with your engine on fire, questioning all of your major life choices, is you realize that, like, you made the mistake 3 turns before you took the damage. You know, you zigged when you should have zagged, or you, like, hung in there and you took the high damage shot without going for the, you know, without thinking about whether that was going to be the best move overall, or you got a little greedy and you went for a Zeppelin, and the game is really great at, really great in the sense that there is always a key decision to make almost from the get-go. There are almost no decisions without consequence. Yeah.
Okay, to
We
be
got shot
fair,
down.
I made a decision at the beginning to not die,
It's generally a good idea.
and that
Yeah.
hasn't worked, and I have blamed bullets for all of the damage that has happened.
You know, it turns out that getting shot is highly correlated with receiving bullets in your aircraft. That was the result of a recent study.
Another comment from the chat, Pete, I wanted to pass along. Dope
Here we
Gotti says, I would pay serious real money for an official Civ 5 expansion that is an Alpha Centauri total conversion. Interesting.
Really?
Real
Yeah,
serious
interesting.
money.
Real serious?
What kind of serious money are we talking about, Dope? Are we talking gold bars? If we're talking
No,
gold
no, no,
bars.
no.
Don't elicit bribes from...
Huh?
Yeah, that's wrong,
What?
Stephen.
What?
That's wrong. Hold out for iron and horses for 30 turns.
Although this is not related to the Humble Bundle, I would like to point out that GOG.com has Alpha Centauri on sale at $149 this weekend. FYI.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yes. In fact, I may have picked it up today. I actually wanted to mention something about the bundle, as a bunch of people have been mentioning this. You can gift any of the individual games within the bundle. So if you already own any of the titles in the bundle, then you can gift them to friends on Steam, which is pretty cool. So you could still pick up games like Railroads and Pirates for cheapness, and gift any of the stuff you already have, including DLC or anything else.
Monkey.
Can be gifted.
And that's a great thing to do. You know, maybe then what happens is that Humble Bundle gets the benefit of your help, and somebody who's a friend of yours gets an awesome game. That just I see no downside to that.
Yep.
Everything gets better with that.
And remember, you can customize your Humble Bundle donation, and you can give up to 100% to charity. You can give money to 2K, you can give money to Humble itself, whatever you want to do. The charity that's being supported is called Action for Hunger USA, which was personally selected by Sid. It was his choice, so it's definitely a worthwhile charity. It's going to help out a lot of people. You just is that your last plane that you're hunting
Yes.
down now?
He's running away. He's just...
Well, he's understandably running away. I think you got him. There we
I
go.
did. About time.
Success.
Success.
Congratulations.
All right, good
Poor
job.
grease monkey.
Good job.
So what are we going to switch up to now?
Woo! We have some Civ 5. Forbidden
have some
World. We're going
Civ.
to look at the Conquest of the New World Deluxe scenario.
This is a great scenario.
Mark's
This
gonna
is
let me
just
know when
such
I
a
can set that
fun
up.
scenario to play.
Pete and I were talking about it before, and I want to play as the Shoshone, and that's what I'm going to do. But apparently there are other strategies which you can also use. I just really like using the Pathfinder. Mara, are we all good for me to set this up? Yeah? Mara's continuing to work some magic.
So this is the Conquest of the New World Deluxe is a modification of the Conquest of the New World scenario that we released with the Spain and Inca DLC pack. This is kind of a more robust version. It takes a lot of the gameplay innovations that were developed for Gods and Kings and Brave New World, a lot of the new civilizations, and it builds them into that framework. The game is longer now. It's 150 turns instead of 100. It's a really neat scenario in the sense that you're either going to play as a native player, trying to preserve your culture from the European invaders, or you're going to play as a European invader. You can play as the Shoshone. They're one of the civs that are in it now. The Shoshone are the perfect turtle civ. So they grab just tremendous amounts of territory every time they settle. They defend incredibly well within their borders. They're a neat civilization to use in general, and they're very strong in this scenario. I really like the Maya, though. The Maya, who were introduced in Gods and Kings. In this scenario, we have special pantheon beliefs that are unique to the game. They are used by just by the native player. They are almost as powerful as full religions are in Gods and Kings. So the Maya get 2 pantheon beliefs instead of just 1, and that actually makes them a lot tougher. That gives them a fair amount of flexibility in terms of being able to find something that works with their opening.
Can we bring down the music a bit more?
I don't think it matters which one you pick. I think they're both very strong contenders. I think you're good at using either one of them.
Give us a second, Pete. We're going to need to bring the music down a bit because people can't hear your awesome strategy advice.
Okay, sorry.
No worries. I mean, everything you're saying must be very epic with this music behind it. Alrighty.
Kate, you want to go into the settings to turn the music down?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
We're just loading in.
The year is 1492.
Okay. Ooh.
To the courts of England, France, and Spain come intrepid explorers, anxious to voyage across the Atlantic in search of a western route to China and the Indies. Will they find a new trade route and uncover untold riches from the Asian shores?
We are continuing to
Or will
load
they
in.
perhaps run aground of undiscovered lands along their way? Will native peoples be...
Desert open.
Ooh. Alright, this is the desert. Okay. So... Oh, Mara's taking control of my game.
We'll just bring the music down a bit. There we go. That's more like it. Alright, there we go. We can hear
Return again.
Pete's wonderful
There we
voice.
go.
Okay.
So we're at a desert opening.
Yeah, this isn't the greatest opening in the world, but it's not the end of the world. It is floodplain. You will be able to plant farms, and it won't be bad. I would actually, if you've never seen the Shoshone in action before, this is awesome. Go ahead and plunk down your settler right there. Don't cross that river. Just
But
put
I
it down
wanted
right
to
there.
be near Mount Pete.
Trust me. This is the Shoshone we're talking about. Look how much territory you grabbed.
I just like being next to the mountain.
That's a lot of territory.
Right over there.
Let me fix something.
Oh, Mara's gonna fix something. I
Sure.
wonder if he's going to take back that turn and move me closer to the mountain.
So, I'm just going to give you a couple of questions from the chat here, Pete. Let me just find it. Here we go. Kilbert asks, what's it like to work alongside /for Sid? I always wondered how you feel about working to his beliefs, e.g. low violence. I assume that means you're not allowed to have any fights in the office.
Well, they're bloodless fights.
Nerf
so,
guns.
I greatly admire him. He is a fantastic designer. He has an incredible sense of how to create an experience for people. He loves making games. He comes in every day and just codes. He was the lead gameplay programmer on Ace Patrol, meaning he did all of the heavy lifting of designing that game and running it out. It's amazing to watch him do it. He listens to everybody. No matter who you are, you can always go into the office and you say, "Hey Sid, I played this and I felt this way about it," and he sits and he listens to you. It's absolutely fantastic. I think his ability to listen to people, to create an experience, to really work from a prototype, get people playing it, listening to their feedback, that underpins a lot of what we do at Firaxis, and I think that is, I think that's what's contributed to the success of the studio and has helped make our games as compelling as they are. So it's awesome. So funny story, when I applied to work at Firaxis, I got called in for an interview, and I was like, okay, be cool. This is Firaxis. This is Sid Meier's studio. Like, don't freak out. Just be cool. So I got into the lobby of Firaxis, and they had concept art up on the walls of the leader of the advisors from Civ 3. And if you remember them, they're all based on Sid. And I'm like, right, okay. Remember, it's Sid Meier's company, but totally don't freak out about it. That's okay. Just play it cool. And then Sid walked around the corner, and I kind of lost it a little bit. It was a very, very touching moment. But it was great. It all worked out in the end. I'm here.
Did you Muppet flail? Did you Muppet flail that gif?
Spaghetti arms. Maybe a little bit.
Ooh, I'm gonna found a pantheon.
Yes. All right.
So let's just mention that this is the Brave New World Deluxe scenario, and this is available.
Conquest of a New World.
Conquest of a New World. I'm
Deluxe.
sorry, which is available as a free download to anyone who owns Brave New World. If you want to get Brave New World as part of the Humble Bundle, you need to pledge $15 or the equivalent at minimum. But that's fantastic value because you're picking up, at that point, all of the games in the bundle, all of the expansion content. You're going to get Civ 5 Gods and Kings, Civ 5 itself, the Scrambled Nation, the Scrambled Continent map packs, and Brave New World as well. So a ton of stuff.
If you purchase Brave New World prior to this, you will have received this expansion as well already. So you can go ahead and look, and it will have loaded in with it as well too. So it's right there.
That's right.
So Kate,
Yeah.
How about them pantheons?
I think I like Inti.
Which is the desert one?
Well, no.
Okay.
So here are my choices. I can get Faith from Cities with a city connection. I can get Faith from Quarries, Faith and Science from Plantations, and I can build libraries in Faith. The one I was looking at was faster border growth, and I already have pretty fast border growth. And the temples provide +2 happiness. Temples provide faith. Use faith to purchase settlers. And when I play with the Shoshone, I tend to build workshops and then temples and really build up faith. So I tend to choose a pantheon that is faith-based.
That sounds great. Go with that then.
Yes, I do want to adopt that. And my city became religious.
All right.
They listen to me.
They do. Now, the one thing you will have to be careful of, as soon as the Europeans start showing up, they are likely to bring missionaries with them. Oh, look, it's Montezuma.
Hey, buddy.
All right. Now, the good part is he's probably still some distance away. And actually, in this game, Montezuma is not going to be your biggest threat. And as a Shoshone player, you're going to have the ability to establish fairly solid defenses, which kind of counteracts his rush tendencies a little bit. I would still make sure that the city that was closest to him was tooled for production, so you could turn out units faster if you needed to.
I don't really have much to discuss with him at the moment.
Not right now, no.
Goodbye, bro.
Goodbye.
Another time.
That's a good spot right there.
I know. I moved to that spot, and it's my favorite of all spots.
So it looks like you've got stone. Right. Oh, that's another good spot.
I know. See, I practiced with Shoshone. There we go. Look at how happy they are there.
And you're seeing with the Shoshone just how much territory you grab with that initial settlement. I mean, the Shoshone are really all about finding resources and just camping the heck out of them. So they are a great civilization if you like to play establishing your borders in the early to mid game and then just building up within that. It's a great. I think the last time I played a full game of Civ 5, I played as a Shoshone, and I got a science victory just shortly after 2000 because I could, hey, it was no problem to build rocket parts inside my own borders.
See, and this is, so I sent my Pathfinders out.
Yep.
Because then they would find me some wonders.
Yep.
Another question for you, Pete.
Sure.
Donald23 says, what is your favorite Firaxis game when we even include the former Microprose games. So that's not really your favorite Firaxis game. It's more like
God,
your favorite
like
Sid Meier involved game, I guess.
Oh.
I think mine would probably. I mean, the two that we played at the top of the stream. I think Pirates and Railroads are pretty high. I mean, Civ. There's so many. I mean, there's obviously 5 versions of Civ, so it's really tough to choose. You know, I think I probably put most time into Civ 4.
Hang on. Montezuma wants embassy.
Oh, watch out!
Yeah, accept the embassy. That's
I'm
never
going to.
bad.
You know, I tend to accept a lot of embassies.
Yeah, who cares?
And I just kind of say,
You can always
sure, no
eject them
problem,
later on.
hang out, don't mind me, I'm building an army, how's it going?
Yeah. I don't know. Going back to the favorite Firaxis or Microprose game, I mean, good God. I don't think I could pick a favorite. I mean, and that sounds canned, but I don't think I could. This is like, Microprose was such a huge part of my PC gaming growing up. And even Firaxis, when I was in college, I nearly failed out my freshman year because I was majoring in Alpha Centauri for 1 semester.
If only that was a real college degree.
Yeah. Perspective futurism wasn't a thing that the University of Maryland thought very highly of at the time. XCOM has eaten a tremendous amount of time. I played so much Civ 5, not just at work, but on my own time too. And last year, Ace Patrol was doing a lot of traveling, and I would get games with the intention of playing them on the airplane or playing them in the airport. And I'd play them, and I'd be like, yeah, this is moderately compelling. I'm gonna go back to Ace Patrol and play that some more too. So please don't ask me to pick. I mean, they're all great.
I didn't even factor in XCOM. That's even more. Sorry, say
Donald asked you to pick.
Yes, Donald asked you to pick. It wasn't me.
So
Donald 23 asked you.
So you can tell me
Yeah.
how we're doing here. Here's my plan so far. I'm building roads to my cities. I've got my Pathfinders out, and then I chose something, a policy that helped me build temples in half the time to kind of cash in on the Pantheon.
Yep, that's great. And that's the kind of play you want to have is figuring out what it is you do well and building off those synergies and going with it from there. And now we've met.
I haven't touched this scenario, and I mean, I'm assuming it's obviously about conquering or colonizing the U.S.
Well, not for me.
You started as...
I'm Shoshone. I've already colonized.
I was going to say, you started as a Native American race, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. So if you started, say, the French or the Spanish, you obviously started over in Europe, and then you have to go and found it.
Right.
Yes.
And I mean, it's just whoever has the most points at the end of 150 turns, and there are different things you can do. Like, if I started as them, I'd be trying to get a boat over to China or the Indies, whereas what I'm doing is really just building up faith and trying to find all of the natural wonders and then building up walls and borders so that when people come say, hey, I like what you have there, I can say, you will stay where you are.
Yeah.
Interesting play on history.
And what's really interesting, and maybe at the end of this we'll jump into the first 5-10 turns of a European player's Civ, but the New World is dynamic, but Europe is fixed. So when the game begins, Europe is basically a known quantity, and you can't expand there. There's no room to develop where your nation starts. You're basically starting from a fixed set of principles, and you're going from that. The pressure that puts on you to find a New World quickly, find those routes to China to build up the points that you get for finding a path across the seas, which is an interesting game in its own right. And then what it does to you as a player when you're like, okay, I have a toehold in the New World. I don't like Pakal. He's kind of a jerk. I guess I could take a city, plus also it gives me a lot of victory points. That's awesome. And the European players are prevented from declaring war on each other until somebody discovers piracy later on, which is one of the techs that you can figure out. That creates a very interesting dynamic. The Europeans, because the opening of the game is so tightly constrained for them, find that route to China. There's a lot of competition. You'll see somebody's boat sail by and you'll be like, I know you're sailing the wrong direction, sucker. That's kind of interesting. And then later on, at the end of the scenario, once somebody's unlocked piracy, and then the whole world is fair game, it's a very aggressive scenario when you're playing as a European player. If anybody out there likes that sort of face smash domination victory, you are really going to enjoy playing as a European power.
So I picked.
Yeah,
Temple
that
of
seems to be the way the history went. Yeah.
That's how the history went. I picked Temple of the Gods before, and then I tend to go with Pucara.
Pucara's not a bad one. Yeah.
You know, because I like to build up my walls, and again, I'm getting plus faith. You know, walls are always good. Things that give me faith is good for what I'm trying to do. I've switched those before, back and forth, but...
So, I had another question from Giver of Will in the chat here, Pete.
Sure.
He asks, in Civ 5, are some civilizations obsolete, like it is in older Civ games, where only certain civilizations are able to be played past Renaissance era? I think what he means is that he follows up by saying, some civilizations seem to be a bit pointless once gunpowder is researched. Any thoughts?
So, probably not, but I can't say that for certain. I know the really, really high-skill Civ players who play on Deity mode constantly, single city challenge on Deity, things like that, know what Civs come into their greatest power at different times in the game. And they might say, well, of course, you know, you can't win as the Zulu if you ever get to the Renaissance and you haven't beaten everybody, the game's over. I would tend to disagree. I would say that, like everything else in Civ, if you're heavily favoring one avenue of approach and you don't have a second, you can find yourself in the corner very quickly. And I would say the flexible Civs tend to respond a lot better. Things like Poland, with their ability to get additional social policies when an era changes. I don't know. I don't think there are any totally obsolete Civs. Does he have an example of one that he thinks is obsolete?
He was saying the Mayans, the Mongolians, and that sort of thing.
Go build a
No,
road.
the Mongolians definitely not. The Mayans.
The Mongolians stay
not.
brutal for a long time.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, the trick with the Mongolians is to rush to horsemen, build the Keshik, and then just keep upgrading those guys over time. Like, and this is something people tend to forget about in Civ 5, is that those upgraded units carry their promotions and abilities with them forward sometimes, and that, well, they'll carry their promotions forward. Not always will the abilities transfer, but that will make them a lot more powerful later on in the game. So if you're worried that you've got a Civ that doesn't do well after gunpowder, like, okay, so kill a lot of guys early in the game, make them musketmen, and then just keep killing guys. That's how you keep them strong.
Why do you want me to build with that? Go ahead. So, Pete, I tend to find myself kind of ignoring barbarians. I don't know if it's just because I find myself too busy to bother with them, but it's only when I'm playing this scenario. I just kind of, oh, you found a barbarian encampment. I guess that's cool. Like, I tend to like keep my pathfinders looking for those natural wonders.
Yeah.
Am I totally missing out on...
No, you don't want to ever use your pathfinders to engage barbarians, although you do want to squash them. Barbarians are the bane of trade routes. I mean, there's nothing like losing a caravan unit or a...
which is what I'm building right now.
Or a workboat unit, yeah, because it happened to blunder near a barbarian camp that fog spawned while you weren't looking. I mean, that's just... They need to be dealt with, and especially on a time-limited scenario like this one, like you want to have enough of a standing army that is kept around just for sweeping out the barbarians from your borders. It will end up being less difficult over time, and then the advantage is sometimes those barbarians are bothering city-states, and as you clear them out, you get the positive Diplo reaction from the city-states too.
All right, so what should I be doing with this dude? So I have him. He's my archer.
Okay.
He was just kind of hanging out, exploring. You know, I sent him on an errand.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to make it an enemy with these guys, and yet my ability to move has been very limited.
Disband him.
Disband him.
Yep. Delete the unit.
I'm always so afraid to do that. It has like the skull and everything.
I know, but that unit's not doing you any good right now. And it's going to be a drain on your resources at paying for the upkeep for him. And you can always build or buy another one, especially if you're cranking on gold.
That's true. At the moment, I'm building roads and caravans.
Okay. Now, if that was a veteran unit or you had discovered navigation and you had the ability to embark and get out of the way, I would say, yeah, don't delete the unit. But right now, it is totally not worth the agony of trying to get him back around.
It's good to know.
Chat may have a different notion of what to do in that situation. Hey, Golden Age.
I killed them off, and they're so happy. Golden Age.
So chat, if you have any suggestions for what to do in that sort of a situation, I'd love to hear them too. You know, rookie military units are not anything I get super attached to. So this is exactly what you want to do as a native player. We should start seeing European powers fairly soon. Kate, I don't see enough of the detail. Are you seeing jungle where you are, or are you in temperate forest area?
No. I've got floodplains, desert, river, wheat, but no jungle, no bananas, no... You know, I think I can get to jungle if I really wanted to.
I was just trying to figure out what latitude you're at, so to see whether or not, because the Europeans tend to start a little bit north, they tend to see the northern civilizations before they see the southern ones. But we should start seeing them in a few turns, and at that point, that's when you start making contingencies for what am I going to do when these guys come and they're looking for someplace to put settlers.
I don't know how many turns we'll get through before the stream has to end. Oh, hang on. Chief Montezuma. What's up, buddy? What do you want me to do? Pakal has become a nuisance. One that can only be dealt with through war. I have no interest in this agreement. Or arrangement.
All right, now...
Wait, do you have interest in this arrangement?
Pakal tends to be my whipping boy. I don't know why. I just, you know, I don't like him. He's just something about him. I like his face. It's a bad face.
Oh, another production. What should we make?
Can we build some of the wonders? Are any of the wonders available to you?
What I want to work on. I'm going to go with...
Wait, let's see if any of the specific scenario wonders are in there. Which one is that?
This is, oh my gosh, Blythe Intaglios.
Oh, the Blythe Intaglios, yep.
And then we have Chichen Itza, Heroic Epic, National Epic, and Texca. I've seen that name because I watched El Dorado once.
Yeah. You want to build the Blythe Intaglios. I think that's the one that you want to, the faith and production boost will help. So let's go ahead. And that's an example of a native-specific wonder that you can build for this scenario. So the natives get one set of wonders, and the Europeans get a different set of wonders. And as a native player, those wonders are key to getting enough victory points to be able to win the game. Keep in mind that a lot of other the native civilizations will push for those as well too. The Inca especially, because they have a bias in favor of mountains, will tend to key for production early on. So they tend to put a lot of hammers towards wonders, generally because they can. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Well, and eventually, you know, it's several turns away, but I get a setup where I start getting great engineers, and then I set up one of my cities to build a wonder that's supposed to take 65 turns, and then I just send my little engineer over there.
And that's a great use of them. So, Kate, why don't we just show everybody what a European start looks like for this scenario, since we're coming up on the end of our live stream.
We could do that. Let's see. How do I want to do that? Mar, are you okay if I do this, or do you want to take over and start a different one?
You can do it.
Okay. I'm going to exit back to the main menu. Yeah, I don't need to save this one. I have my save on my computer. Mar, you can't use that. Nothing for you.
Well, it'll have auto-saved, so you can always be able to pull up one of the auto-saves if you need to as well.
It doesn't mean Mar can use it.
I got my own Shoshone save.
You have your own Shoshone save?
I do, actually.
Do you tend to... I go workshops and then trade route within. Like, so I have this little bustling economy, we're all happy, then I start building up walls, and all of a sudden I just start turning out a whole bunch of military units that are hanging out in forts, and I just wait for Elizabeth to say something I don't like. And that's kind of how I play.
So the last time I played this scenario, I did a lot of, oops, caught your settler, because I was a few tiles off the coast, and as soon as I saw somebody's settler materialize in the distance, I would send a military unit up to capture it. I got a lot of workers that way and made a lot of enemies. It was wonderful.
It wasn't really a time for making friends, was it?
No, it really wasn't.
No. How's the chat going, Stephen?
Good. We're chatting about XCOM and a few other different things right now.
I don't want to be random. Okay, which European... So I've tended to play as more indigenous peeps. Do you have a favorite or someone we want to focus on, Pete?
I like Portugal, although they're all strong in their own unique ways. The Dutch are good, but Portugal's a lot of fun.
I like
too.
the Spanish only because this is, Conquest of the New World and seems historically appropriate. But,
So the one cool thing is that the Spanish had the Conquistador unique unit. Everybody can build Conquistadors in Conquest of the New World once you research the appropriate tech. So you can have Portuguese Conquistadors, you can have Conquistadors.
All right,
it's
Isabella
very
or Catherine? Chat, what do you want?
Chat is, of course, about 30 seconds behind us, but chat, do tell us what you would like to see us start this European version of the scenario.
Historically, I like Catherine. Catherine's one of those cool historical figures where she has a different name depending on where you go.
Yeah.
Is she the great? Is she the mad? Depends on where you're standing at the time.
Yeah,
What
pretty
country
much.
are you in?
Pretty much. The English, kind of their maritime approach gives them a big advantage in trying to find those routes to China, although I've certainly beat them out as the Dutch and as the Portuguese before.
There's a vote for Portugal in here.
All right.
Okay.
Donald says
That's-
Portugal.
All
It's
right.
good enough for us.
Yes.
That's a quorum.
And we're loading. The year is
The year is
1492.
1492.
So I
Not
really
Darius.
just wanted everybody to
The
see
courts of
kind of
England,
what the
France,
setup
and
for the
Spain
Europeans
come
looks like here.
intrepid
You're going to see a lot of
explorers,
constrained
anxious to
space. You're
voyage
going to see a
across
lot
the
of walled-off
Atlantic in
territories.
search
You're going to
of
see a
a
lot
western route
of
to China and the
funny
Indies.
looking, doesn't look like
Will
modern
they
national
find
borders.
any
Some of that is
trade
gameplay. So, for example, the
untold
British
riches on
can't
the Asian
completely lock off the
shores?
Dutch from the
Or will they
Atlantic Ocean.
perhaps run aground
But
of
you're going to
undiscovered
see
lands
Portugal
along
here
their
clinging
way?
to the side of Spain.
Will native peoples be
We're going to
receptive?
begin our journey. You know,
Does
this
that
is
surprise you, Pete, that Portugal is located in the place that it is in the real world?
I was a little surprised when I saw that. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than real life Portugal.
A little bit smaller, really.
Now look at all this cool stuff I have. Okay, Pete, you're going to have to help me out here because this is not what it looks like when I play a Shoshone. This is terribly different.
No, this is very different. Now, keep in mind, actually, the big thing to do would be to go into that city screen. So close out of your build queue for a second and
I
click
didn't
on
wanna
this
be
bit
there.
itself. If you look at all of the things you start with,
Look at these things.
yeah. So this is Western civilization having been cranked on for a few millennia. You start to see you've got amphitheaters and aqueducts and all this stuff. So the Europeans start out with a lot of stuff, but not a lot of territory to expand on. So it's very different from a start like the Shoshone, where you're just sort of kicking it off and doing it your own way. Now, okay, close this out for a second. Let's go look at the rest of the combatants around here. So zoom out a little bit. You can see the rest of Europe there.
La
That's
Rochelle,
basically
Plymouth.
all they're starting from right there.
Hey, guys. All right, so
So if you look to begin, you've got a caravel unit and you've got a Great Admiral. The Great Admiral is the guy who has to get to China.
I do already have a Great Admiral.
All right,
Okay.
click on the caravel for a second and go down to his icons for unit promotions. One of those red down arrows should be a promotion called Scurvy.
This
and
is
he's
something
gonna-
new for this.
Yeah, this is new for this. So they will take damage outside of home waters every turn until you discover or build a navigation, maritime academy. Basically, because you don't know about oranges yet.
I have
this-
some, though.
You do, but this acts as a check on the Europeans, and it prevents you from running around with invincible units exploring the New World. And it really does kind of get at that sense of the fragility of sending a unit off past the end of the world, trying to find something in the New World itself. It's pretty cool. You've also got a religious unit. I believe most people have a missionary that'll help promote their faith. Some people might have an inquisitor.
I have an Inquisitor.
You have an inquisitor, okay.
Yep.
But not a whole lot else. And so now, even though you have all of these things, you don't know what to do with them. So you can say, oh, it's easy. I'll build a settler, and then I'll immediately go straight to the New World. But the
Let's
thing
do
is,
that.
well,
No.
you don't know where to go. And remember, that settler, when they go out to sea, they're going to have that scurvy promotion. And a settler can't take nearly the damage that a military unit can.
I think this is
So-
the only instance in which you would call Scurvy a promotion.
It's a technical term, actually, rather than
Pete,
anything else. Yes, sir.
You say we don't know where to go. I mean, I am using my time traveler knowledge here, but I'm pretty sure we just go west.
We do just go west, but do you actually go west? Or where do you go?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we go west.
You will and okay.
The world might be flat, Stephen. Hang on.
To be fair, though, I mean, I haven't played the scenario, so I guess my question is,
Let's see what else I have.
I suppose that you have to sort of build those longer range ships, right? You can't just jump in the first thing you have when the map opens.
You can actually.
Oh, you can.
You're gonna have to, yeah. So, but the thing is, that new world changes dynamically each time. So every time you sail into it, and you see a bay that the fog of war obscures it to the west, is that a passage? Is that the Northwest Passage? Is that going to take me through to China? Or is this a big dead end that I'm going to spend 3 turns exploring and then figure out that was no good, taking scurvy damage the whole time? I mean, it really is an interesting process of discovery. And you end up with an interesting outline, a little bit of knowledge on what's on the interior. Maybe you've met some of those coastal city-states. Maybe you've met some of those native players. But it is not guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination that you will have anything approximating good knowledge of that new world that's there. And that's kind of cool. And then you have to go, and not only do you have to live there, to win the game, you got to beat somebody else up and take his stuff back to your town. So that's Conquest of the New World Deluxe.
All right, I'm moving. I'm oceaning.
Okay, now move your Great Admiral, and look how much difference it comes when he explores. Let's see how much he can see.
Oh, look at how far he can go. That far.
Wow.
Yep.
Go into the clouds.
He's got a lot more visibility. He's really your major exploration unit, but he's also your diplomat. He's the guy you need to get to China. He's the guy that you have to protect more than anything else. He's more valuable than 10 caravels, so which is not a bad thing to build at this point.
A caravel. See, I was going between these two. Naval unit, fast run. All right, I want exploration. There we go. Which other unit needs orders? So, I've got an Inquisitor.
Yep, I just put him to sleep for now.
I was going to say, there's not much for him to do yet, is there?
No, there isn't really.
He could inquire. Just the people in town. Excuse me. Do you know about the Byzantines? I've met someone who doesn't. Knows everything else. Suspect.
Well.
Now, I don't need to repair a fleet. So, I mean, is this something... This is what I'm unsure of because of the way the map works. Normally, when I'm exploring, I kind of don't worry about automating it, but is that a bad move with Scurvy?
Never want to automate with Scurvy. You need to...
Well, at least I knew not to do it.
Yep. You need to keep precise control of those units. You need to effectively... You need to figure out how to work that caravel in conjunction with the Great Admiral. You need to steer clear of your opponent's Great Admirals and his units. And once you find that coastline, and when you start to see those coastal tiles materialize in the distance, that's kind of a cool feeling. Working on it from there becomes an interesting puzzle of geography, and the whole time when you're getting dinged with that dot from Scurvy, that's
Scurvy. I mean,
that's Scurvy.
Stop.
So I would actually
tech tree. I get to choose a research. Now, immediately, what I thought as a person, what I wanted to do was research navigation. Because, boy, navigation sounds good when I'm battling Scurvy, but none of my advisors seem to think this is right.
In this case, I would overrule your advisors, and I would go for navigation.
Yes. This is good. This is a good game for me.
Keep in mind on these scenarios, the advisor weights are set to conventional Civ 5 weights and not to the scenario-specific victory conditions. And so sometimes they'll undercount things that will matter for the scenario. So wonders and things like that. Plus your military advisor always wants you to build more units, no matter what, usually.
Minus 10 Scurvy. All right, so I see some bros are going kind of this way.
So this is a
I'm gonna
question.
go kind of this way. I'm still going to move to what I think might be west, but also up a little bit because they seemed pretty confident.
Okay,
with their
so
ships.
remember, as you're moving north, you are increasing the chances. Well, you're moving west and north. So keep
northwest, in fact.
Northwest.
Northwest.
Yes. Almost as if it were a combined direction. You run into the risk that you will run into the pack ice of the north, the Arctic area. And at that point, you're in kind of a rough spot because that can obscure a potential northwest passage. And then you'll have to fight your way south until you find a way either around the equivalent of that Cape Horn or if you get lucky, there will be actually 2 continents separated by a narrow strait, and you'll have to sail through that. So I'm kind of a contrarian, and I like going southwest.
I don't know what to do here. Pete likes going southwest.
I think you should just go with your heart.
I'm going to go with my heart.
Follow
My heart
your-
just
follow
told
your
me
heart.
not to let Isabella use open borders, by the way. I don't know if she
I think in those
is
kind of
going to hate me.
Confined circumstances, it makes sense.
I think it's okay for now. She can't declare war on you until
Right. So I
much
was
later, so I think you'll be all right.
this way. Well, I told her she could have open borders if I could have open borders, and she politely said, no way, to which I said, okay, goodbye.
Yep, that's fair.
And that's how it's going to go down in history.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay.
I
We're
thought
doing
this-
well.
I thought this scenario started with 150 turns.
Yes.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry. I forgot that we're playing the
We
European
restarted.
one as well.
Ooh,
That's right.
I've got a policy to adopt. Here we
Okay,
go.
let's look at some of the European social policies. You can see they are very much set up for exploration and, how shall I put it, resource extraction. Whereas the native player tends to have a lot more in the faith department, a lot more in the culture department. So it's an interesting balance of forces. I keep in mind that you're going to be a very small, very rich country for a while there. So things that benefit settlers may not necessarily be the best ones to take at this particular point.
I'm liking maritime infrastructure. I'm a coastal city. I get +3 production in all of those coastal cities.
Yep, that's
All
and you're
right.
probably your first city in the New World is going to be a coastal one as well too.
Yeah, because I'm not going to want to travel. I'm going to want to get to land and start eating oranges.
Yep.
Come
As
on
it were.
over. Yes. Or limes, lemons.
Yep. You might want to zoom back like a click or two, just because. Oh, see, there's your first tiles of coast right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Over on the left.
We're doing okay. You know what?
We're
I
going to
just-
make it. We're not going to die of scurvy.
Well, you will die of scurvy.
What?
I had to tell you that these guys are likely to die of scurvy because
No.
scurvy only stops when you're back in your home waters, and you're going to get to this new world, and there's going to be nobody there to help you.
I don't have a settler.
Don't we
I
have a
need
settler with us? I
thing.
thought that was the whole
Unit
plan.
promotion. Unit promotion. Wait a sec. Oh, this is promoted? Okay. Coastal Raider is a thing, and boarding party is a thing.
Coastal Raider.
Bam. I'm going to choose a production.
Maybe build that settler now.
I was going to say, I should probably get a settler. Okay.
How are we doing for time, Kate?
We're a little over time, but we're okay. We should talk about our giveaway, though.
We should.
Ooh.
So we are giving away several very cool items, and the way we are going to do that, hang on, a unit needs orders. What do you want me to do? Oh, look at that. I'm just going to set this boat up to come all the way over here, just in case. Go. So the way we're going to do that is you can head over to the Civilization Facebook page or check out @CivGame on Twitter. There's going to be a post, and on Facebook you just have to like the post and then comment below the Humble Sid Meier bundle, and we will select somebody random from that list, and on Twitter you just have to retweet the tweet. It is that easy, and it has a bunch of cool stuff in it. We have a barbarian bust, the Civilization 5 Art of the Game art book, several Sid wants, Ace Patrol stickers, Ace Patrol keychains, and this poster behind me is a limited edition signed poster signed by Sid. All of these things can be yours.
All of these
I
things
grabbed
and
Thor's
more.
hammer. What
Yes.
a savings.
Never give up,
Never surrender.
never surrender. Unless you have scurvy, and then it's kind of okay.
And then it's kind of moot.
Inevitable that you will surrender.
Yeah.
All right, so what do I want
are
to
people
do with
commenting on the post that's currently live? Is that the plan?
No, the post is not live until after the live stream because we would hate to
Okey-dokey.
distract you from the live stream. In fact, we
Alright.
even give a little bit of breathing room so that you can stop the live stream, head over to humblebundle.com, pick up the Humble Bundle, and still have time to look at Facebook and Twitter. And we'll pick the winner within 24 hours, so you have plenty of time to check it out. It also gives people that are checking this video out in the archives a chance to win too. So did we want to go over anything else with the Humble Bundle? I know we're going over.
No, I think we just want to
Time a
remind
little
everybody. I'm sure almost everybody who's been watching us has been picking up the bundle. But yeah, make sure you pick it up. You know, you can pay as much as you want for up to, what is it, 7 games or something like that? Civ 3, Civ 4?
So many. I mean,
4
if
games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 in the core.
6,
6, 7.
7.
7.
7 games?
7 games.
7 games.
Over the average,
7
it gets you
games.
7 games.
Yes.
Yes.
And expansion material, the Scrambled Nations and Scrambled Continent map packs, which are awesome. They use a map script that dynamically generates the interiors of continents and countries every time you play them. So, you know, the heart of Africa or North America changes each time you play it. They're just fantastic, fantastic tools for somebody who plays Civ a lot.
Well, Stephen, if you don't have any other questions from the chat.
Now everyone just wants to know how they get their giveaway. So that's
Oh, social media.
So I've given you the
Hang
Facebook
tight.
link, the Facebook link and the Twitter link. So you should definitely be liking us on Facebook at facebook.com/civ, and following us on Twitter at twitter.com/civgame.
And we also have at Sid Ace Patrol for Ace Patrol, which is also part of the bundle.
That's true. And you can follow Firaxis Games on at Firaxis Games if you look at the little @ sign underneath Pete's darling face.
And thanks to everybody who watched the stream today. It was a lot of fun to go through and play these games. These are some fantastic games. It is amazing how fast 2 hours will slip by.
The
you know,
power of Sid Meier.
You know,
I
if I
know.
hadn't said anything, we'd still be on railroads.
Yeah,
That's
true.
that's
We
what would be happening
It's,
right now.
yeah.
Okay, well, thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. Like Stephen said, you can find Civilization at @civgame. You can find 2K at @2K. He's been putting in the links in the chat for the social media stuff, for the giveaway, and of course, you can always head over to humblebundle.com to pick up this bundle. We've got until Tuesday. This bundle is going on until Tuesday, is that correct?
Yeah,
3 days, 21 hours left.
that's right.
There's Pete, always with the exact. It's right there. So thanks so much, everybody. I'm going to say goodbye. Stephen, do you want to duck in?
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks so much. Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.
I'm going to see if I can avoid Scurvy while Mahler
Wait, I'm switching.
is turning it off.
I'm gonna turn it on. Give me back my mouse.
Oh, I can't touch the mouse. Mara's going to let me die of Scurvy.
Of course.
Mhm.
Mara, I'm going to disconnect the monitor channel, the monitor Skype, so your phone is
Bye,
now
Pete.
no longer hijacked.